commentary of the day. Sit back and enjoy the action. It's Rangers against Ayr United for a place in the quarter-finals of the Scottish Cup with Neil McCann, Ryan Stevenson and Liam McLeod.
Thanks, Kenny. Chilly evening here south of the River Clyde in Glasgow under the lights at Ibrox Stadium. The two sets of players in the tunnel just waiting to come out for the 7th Scottish Cup meeting between them. Rangers have won 5 of the previous 6. It's the first time they've ever met in the Scottish Cup at Ibrox. 4 times they've met at Somerset and twice at Hampden. And Ayr's solitary Scottish Cup success against Rangers came in the first meeting in 1923, 101 years ago, which was in the second round. A 2-0 win down the coast as referee Willie Collum leads the two sets of players out onto the pitch and gets a warm welcome from the Rangers supporters. Not, of course, he's been vilified ever since that derby match against Celtic at the tail end of last year when he was on VAR duty and decided not to advise an on-field review of a potential penalty which would have gone Rangers' way. There were statements released, there were headlines, but he's taking charge of a Rangers match for the first time since that controversy this evening. The two sets of players shaking hands as the championship side come to Glasgow, more in hope than expectation against this Rangers juggernaut just now under Philippe Clement, which chalked up its latest win here against Aberdeen on Tuesday evening. 13 successive wins for Rangers in this fixture. That dates back to a 1-1 draw in what was their final ever league match up to this point in April 1978. You've got to go back to the 11th of October 75 to find Ayr's last win over Rangers. 3-0 at Somerset as Ali McLeod got the better of Jock Wallace. And speaking of Jock Wallace, Rangers haven't lost a Scottish Cup tie to a side in a league below them since their infamous defeat to Berwick Rangers in 1967. Scott Simon's team lost 1-0 at Shielfield. Lanarkshire man Sammy Reid scored the only goal for goalkeeper Jock Wallace's side. He of course went on to have that career in the Rangers dugout. Hamilton, Dunfermline and Raith were all in the same division when they knocked Rangers out in 87, 88 and in 2015. The two captains down there, James Tavernier and Sean McGinty, with the formalities pre-match with the referee Willie Collum. Ayr United, of course, quarter-finalists last season before seeing their dreams end of a return to Hampden for the first time in a couple of decades at the Falkirk Stadium in front of the BBC television cameras. Rangers were semi-finalists last season, had the cup ripped away from them by Celtic. That Jota goal at Hampden enough on the day. And just about ready to go. Clement's made 7 alterations to the Rangers side from the league match during the week. The Ayr fans setting off some pyrotechnics, the smoke billowing across the Govan stand on the far side as Ayr kick off, shooting from left to right as we watch from the main stand in their white and black. Rangers in the blue shirts, white shorts, black socks with the red tops will shoot towards the Broom Loan. Ayr towards Copeland Road in this first half. Long ball forward and Ayr trying to get an early feel of possession. That's up towards Mackenzie. It breaks out to that left-hand side. And Jamie Murphy, of course, familiar figure here at Ibrox in that spell in Rangers colours as it switched out to this near side for Nick McAllister, who finds Chalmers. Back to McAllister, who works a quick 1-2 into the midfield. Back to Chalmers as it pinched off him though by Cortez, who gets his first start. Diamande does too for Rangers. It's Cortez bursting down the left, low ball across, almost fell for Rangers inside the penalty area. It was Diamande, made a good run from midfield as Ryan Jack picks up the scraps here. Rolls to Barisic, wide on the left, chips the ball in, headed away by McGinty. Only as far as Rascan, midway inside Ayr territory. And out it comes to Tavernier, who'll be looking to lift the Scottish Cup, as he did, of course, in 2022. Here's Barisic to Cortez, wide the left-hand side of the box, attacking the penalty area, looks up for the goal, shoots for goal, and it bounces off the outside of the post and behind for the goal kick to safety. But drama across the city from here at Firhill. Rory Loy.
Yes, indeed, the Lions have roared back, come back complete, and it's Tete Yengi with a glancing header in the last minute of extra time, 120 minutes. He glanced it into the corner, ran to the away supporters, and I have to say, Liam, they thoroughly deserved that. Fantastic from the second half onwards. Partick Thistle 2, Livingston 3.
Well, that is a real kick in the teeth for Partick Thistle, but for Livingston, who cannot buy a win in the Premiership, what a fillet that would be for them. It looks as though they're going through. Penalties is what it looked like going to, but that will be Livingston, by the looks of things, making their way through to the quarter-final draw to join Morton, Hibs, Kilmarnock and Aberdeen. As Cortez picks it up and finds Barisic on the left-hand side. Chalmers comes to meet him. Barisic rolling it infield here. And it's Diamande out to Jack and out to Barisic. I'll get the guys take on that Cortez chance in just a moment. Rangers, though, as they did against Aberdeen here, they've started really positively. They have pinned their opponents deep back inside their own half. As Wright picks up over on the far side, taking on Reading, twisting and turning and winning the free kick as well. About level with the Rangers penalty spot. It's been a fast start here by Rangers, Neil McCann, and they were very nearly in front early on as well.
Yeah, well, we're right behind it, and you can see that Cortez' shot is probably going to hit the outside of the post rather than the inside, but it's positive from him. I think today we've seen Rangers have to go up against a team that banks in only the other week there against Livingston. Ayr United are just filtering back into a 4-5-1. The wide players are going to have to be really, really on their game and direct and important in this match. Interestingly, Logan Chalmers has coughed up possession twice. He doesn't want to do that too many more times because Rangers are right at it.
Barisic with the free kick from the right-hand side, and it comes towards Goldson's headed away. It's a really good headed as well. The flag goes up over there, and it's McGinty who won the header as well. It is all over at Firhill, and Livingston have beaten Partick Thistle. They've repeated that 2018 playoff victory, and they have knocked Thistle out of the cup after that impressive 3-0 win in Dingwall in the last round. The Jags exit the Scottish Cup, and Livingston, who have been toiling big time on league business, but they are making their way through the Scottish Cup. That might just give them a little bit of confidence. We'll get to Ryan in just a moment to see what he's made of the opening exchanges as Ayr get a feel of the ball. Chalmers into the midfield, McKenzie battling for it. He's not going to get there, though. Dowds was flicking it towards him, but Rangers have it back here with John Souttar out to Barisic. Ryan Stevenson.
Listen, Ayr started actually okay, the decent bit of passage of play there, but as Neil touched on there, Logan Chalmers giving the ball away twice, really needlessly, and you've just seen how the game is totally switched now. If I was one of the Ayr United players, especially McGinty as a captain, I'd have been right on his case, because you cannot give that away. You cannot give away slack passes, especially in your own half, because you know at any given time Rangers will cut you open.
Souttar clipping the ball out to Cortez, he controls on the near side, passing infield to Jack, who elects to go back to Souttar, who finds Barisic, who's in trouble, and he's had it pinched off him by Anton Dowds down this right hand side. Dowds out towards the touchline as to roll it back into the midfield. Little flick back the way there by McAllister over to this near side for the Albanian Roy Sila, who goes back to Stanger, who finds McGinty, and out to that left hand side for Reading. Good use of the ball there by Ayr United.
Yeah, they're doing well. Again, that's what they need to try and do, is string 3, 4, 5 passes together, just try and take the sting out of it. I mean, as I said, it was relentless there from Rangers for 2 or 3 minutes there, so they just need to try and take the sting out of the game and get a rest back into it.
Rangers have it. Diamande just turning it to the edge of the area there for the centre circle for Jack, out to Cortez wide on the left. Barisic goes on the overlap, and it is Cortez. 5 goalless minutes in here. It's Jack back out to Barisic, takes a touch, swings the left foot ball in just a bit too high for Silva, and it's headed out of play for a throw-in over on the far side by Murphy. Rangers keeping the pressure on. Tavernier over at level with the 18-yard line. It was just the 4 Rangers starters who began the game against Aberdeen in the week. Here United, 2 changes. Chalmers coming in, Robbie Much in goal as well instead of Albinson, and comes back to Jack at the edge of the area, rolls it to the left of it here for Barisic. Barisic taking on Chalmers. He still has it down by the byline, forced out towards the corner flag, turns it back to Jack, level with the penalty spot, to Cortez, and then to Barisic, to Jack. This near side, Rangers patient at the moment. Cortez, good footwork from him, it's the edge of the box, he shoots, and Much holds on. It's right at him, but that'll do the goalkeeper no harm at all. The 25-year-old, he held on to it eventually. 6 in, Rangers 0, Ayr 0, and Cortez got behind that, that's for sure.
Yeah, it looks as if he's going to have an eye for goal. Certainly he's not prepared to just take the easy option. A lovely little nutmeg on Ben Dempsey on the edge of the box. Nice triangular play as well out in the left wing, but when it opened up for him, he certainly got hold of that one. Comfortable, you have to say, for Robbie Much. It's interesting, Ryan was talking about good football. Rangers midfield 3 are really pressing Ayr United.
Here's Fabio Silva getting onto the ball down the left-hand side. Out comes Stanger to meet him. Silva trying to turn away from his man, he has done, but Stanger bites back at him. Fabio Silva turns away from goal, rolls it back to Barisic. Scott Brown, a little round of applause for Stanger's defending on that occasion. Comes back to Suter, finds Goldson to the right of the centre circle, right foot chip ball out to Tavernier, who controls against his former teammate Murphy. Infield for Jack to Tavernier, first time low ball into the midfield here. Raskan out to Barisic, out to Cortez. Rangers have worked it right to left. Cortez now looking to take on Nick McAllister down this near side, level with the Ayr penalty spot. Back it comes to Raskan, he shoots for goal, takes a touch on its way through. Still alive here for Rangers. Diamandi trying to get onto it and then not clear by McAllister. Only as far as Tavernier, kills it on the chest, finds right, but Ayr have enough bodies in the way to get it back. Murphy chasing, but Goldson slides in to deny Jamie Murphy, whose eyes would have lit up momentarily there. Goldson's ball to the edge of the box is knocked away by McGinty, then out to that left-hand side. It is passed by Dowds, and then, or rather McKenzie, and then out it goes off a Rangers boot last for an Ayr throw. 8 in. It is Rangers 0, United 0.
I tell you something, I was at 3 or 4 of the games at the start of the season when Beale was here, and this place is a completely different animal now.
Too right, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely incredible. And I played here with Stranraer when we played Rangers. I think it was the Scottish Cup. And sometimes when you play, no disrespect to Ayr United, but you've obviously played in it, Neil, with Rangers. When you come and you're playing against less teams, the atmosphere can drop and it can become a bit stagnant and a bit stale. I tell you, this place is absolutely rocking.
Yeah, that's for sure. And the Rangers fans have turned out their numbers as well, as have Ayer's supporters over on the far side. Here's Barisic in the left of the box, bends the cross ball in, and it's headed up into the air. Much, can he prevent the corner? Not quite. It's going to be a corner to Rangers over on that far side. And they've got just, I think, about 2,000 fans have come up the road for this one over in that far corner. It's fewer than Partick Thistle had here at this stage last season. I'm not sure if there was scope for more United fans to attend the match, but it's certainly a healthy away contingent. A chance here for Borna Barisic to swing the corner in from that far side. The Rangers right as they tap the goal to the left. And it comes, and Much holds on. Again, you'll be happy with that. Sticky fingers on his 6-yard line. And he bowls it out to Logan Chalmers. I think he's asking a bit too much of him though. Wright gets there and he turns it back to Tavernier.
I tell you, Logan Chalmers has got a tough day ahead of him, or evening should I say. You know, Barisic is always going to go in the overlap, and Cortez is more than capable of driving in onto that strong right foot, but already there's a lot of luck for him down this left channel.
Yeah, and Wright's managed to slip it through to Cortez, left-hand side of the box. No Ayr defenders, he's going to be able to put this across. It's blocked by McGinty, breaks back to Cortez. It's Barisic! Smashes it home into the left corner. Wonderful finish, low past Much, who didn't see it coming at all. Barisic hammers it home, and it's Rangers 1, Ayr United 0 in this cup quarter-final.
Yeah, well, it's certainly been the source of joy in the early stages of the game for Rangers. Speaking about Logan Chalmers having a real tough game to try and get back and help out Nick McAllister, because Barisic keeps going. Again, it's Cortez down, great little ball across the face, and actually it was well defended by Ayr United. But when they come back to Barisic, he's so high up, he's the edge of the box, he doesn't even think twice about it, he just hits it with the instep, the left foot, keeps it low. I think it might have got a little nick off of somebody, I'm not sure, but it looked as if it got a little nick, but I don't think it deviated it in any shape or form. It just helped it into the back of the net, and it's a wonderful start for Rangers, and it'll be a really tough one from Ayr United going forward.
Ayr have to just hang in now.
Yeah.
The next 10-15 minutes Ayr just have to hang in. I think that, listen, I don't really want to jump on the bandwagon or been on Logan's case. I've seen a lot of Logan, he's a very good player technically, but I think that's the reason why he's at Ayr United. His defensively, and I think they're going to have, you can see that Rangers have probably done their homework, and every single attack basically came down this left side. He's came down the right hand side,
yes.
The left hand side of Rangers, and for me you would need to look at that, because even there Logan's just picking the ball up, but he's probably out of position picking the ball up there defensively.
Yeah.
And as we spoke before the game, I think more than anything, Ayr United, and Scott obviously said it as a manager, defensively they have to be super switched on, and that's your left back scoring for Rangers. And I know he's ridiculously high there, but Logan's probably 20 yards further up the pitch, where he should have been back in that position.
Ryan, I spoke about the three Rangers midfielders being aggressive and they're all going and pressing. That means that the centre-backs of Rangers, and I know you think no, they shouldn't need it against United, but there's such a gap just to drop balls in, because Dowd's is strong, McKenzie's decent, and you're saying about it's good to get 2 or 3 passes, but once you get 2 or 3 passes, clearly Rangers have been told to go and hound from all the midfielders and the front three. I'd be saying, if I'm Scott Brown, okay, maybe I want to play football in the Championship and play the right way, but here just clip it in and get in touch. If anything, you're gaining territory and you're taking Rangers away from a really dangerous area, which is your final third.
Listen, everything, if you come into Ibrox, I've done it with Stranraer, I've done it with United, I've done it with Hearts, even at Hearts as well, playing when we were coming here, play everything in Rangers half.
Yeah.
I think when you try and overcomplicate it and you try and play football in your own half, you're asking for trouble, because Rangers are so good on the press.
Yes.
They will catch you out.
Yeah.
So
Big.
as stupid as that is, play it as far away from your goal as possible.
Sorry, Nick McAllister just launched a long ball into the Rangers box, which was comfortably held onto by Butland. His back post area. Headlines are to be believed. Jack Butland could have a sniff of the England squad in the near future. He's certainly been extremely consistent for Rangers this season. They lead 1-0. Borna Barisic with his first goal in just over a year, and here they come for more down the right hand side, but Wright slips as he crosses, and that swings behind for the goal kick on the reverse side of the goal frame. 13 minutes on the clock. Rangers 1, Ayr United 0. If you want a wrap up of what happened in the Cup earlier on today, and indeed all your Scottish sports news, bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. I see George Stanger there at the heart of the Ayr defence. His dad Tony, one of the 5 Nations Grand Slam heroes, of course, from over 3 decades ago now, and the still images suggest that Scotland, today's Scotland side, are extremely unfortunate not to beat the French late on, and I think there's going to be plenty more said about that. You'll be able to get a full report and reaction at bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. And today's other 5th round ties, we were just hearing that Partick Thistle going out to Premiership Livingston late on, just as it looked as though it was going to penalties. 3-2 it finished. It was Caley Thistle 1, Hibs 3, Kilmarnock 2, Cove Rangers 0, and Aberdeen 2, Bonnyrigg 0. There were league matches as well. bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland for all the results and everything else, including that fantastic win for Queen's Park over Dunfermline in the Championship. Here at Ibrox, it's Rangers in possession with John Souttar just stepping out of defence, rolling it low with the right foot out to Barisic on the halfway line, then up the line to Cortez, who's back to Souttar, and he switches it left to right of the circle for Connor Goldson inside his own half. Of course, John Souttar was on the beaten Heart side when Rangers lifted the Scottish Cup in 22. It's Barisic, the goal scorer here. His cross cut out by Chalmers, with better defending this time by the Ayr United number 11. He's back for another spell on loan at Somerset. Been there in the first half of last season. As Goldson finds Souttar, and back to Connor Goldson. And the one thing, I don't know if you saw the game on Tuesday night, when Rangers got the lead against Aberdeen, they came at Aberdeen like a train in the opening stages of the match. They did ease off ever so slightly as the game wore on, and Ayr will hope that that's the case today.
Yeah, I watched the game.
Scott Hyce put the ball in, Silva going after it, it's bouncing around inside the box, and Willie Collum gives Ayr United the free kick inside the area. Fabio Silva, I think, is claiming that's come off an Ayr hand. It might come off his hand as well, actually. With 15 and a half in, Rangers 1, Ayr 0. Ryan, sorry.
Listen, just get back onto it. I think I did see the game, and Aberdeen sort of read it out. They saw out the storm, and then obviously it was a great goal from Aberdeen's point of view. But get back onto what Neil was saying. It was one long ball, and it was an amazing finish, good bit of strength. But that's what Ayr probably need to do. They probably need to just sit in their 2 banks, whether it's a 5 at the back or a 4 and then a 5 in midfield. They're going to have to just suck up, and they're going to have to just try and catch them on the break. And get Dowds up front. That's what they need to try and do, because that's what he's good at. Is playing up front, what he's doing right now.
Yeah, he's running forward, looking for McKenzie. Just played it in behind him though, and Souttar read it, and he comes out of defence over on the far side and turns it back to Goldson, who'll roll it with the right foot to Barisic, and then down the line Cortez on the halfway line up against McAllister, moving in field and turning it back to Raskan. Raskan plays it to Souttar, and Tavernier out to the right-hand side. Down the line it goes for Scott Wright, and he's lost out. And Murphy, he loses out as well, goes down, no free kick. No foul by Raskan. Now it's Wright picking up the scraps for Rangers, finds Diamande, finds Jack. Barisic out in this near side in space. Level with the edge of the D of the United box. Back in field to Jack, who finds Cortez, works the 1-2, gets it back. Cortez goes down. Clumsy looking challenge by Chalmers. No penalty, says Willie Collin, who shakes his head.
Gets the ball, I think, Liam. I think he does really well. He gets a big thigh across Cortez, because Cortez is driving into the box. Had it gone another yard, I think he would have got there, but Chalmers just threw his leg across, and I do believe that Willie Collins got that one correct. I hate to say.
No stoppage when buffing over the line in this near side for a Rangers throw-in. They've only been to 2 Scottish Cup finals since 2009, winning in 2022, losing to Hibs in 2016. As Cortez picks up level with the air penalty spot, gets the cross in. Silva touching it back to Wright, steadies himself. The shot's blocked though, and McGinty charges out of defence and rolls it out to this right-hand side for Anton Dowds. Looks up, looking for the big switch out to Murphy, right to left. Murphy takes it down. Tavernier comes over to meet him. Shifted into the midfield for Sila. At left central position, turns it out to the touchline for Murphy, looks up, swings the cross ball into the penalty area. The header's won by Dowds, but he heads it wide of the left-hand post. And 18 minutes in, it's Rangers 1, Ayr United 0, but that is Ayer's best move of the game, and it was a header from Dowds. He beat his marker inside the box really well.
Yeah, that's what they need to keep doing. McGinty obviously coming out like a gazelle there, wasn't he? Coming out breaking it for the back, which you probably wouldn't want to do too much, but that's all you need to do. Get it wide, get crosses in the box, try and get free kick, get throw-ins, and ask Rangers questions.
One long ball from Tavernier's found Silva right hand side of the Ayr box though. He turns away from goal and turns back to the byline, chips the ball in. It's chested down there by McAllister. Much throws himself to his right to prevent the corner kick. He made that look pretty calm. He's the calmest man in Ibrox anyway, because I think all the Rangers supporters were expecting that to be missed by the goalkeeper and potentially set up a chance of at the very least a corner, but Nick McAllister nonchalantly turned round and got on with the game.
I tell you, he must be back on the bench, because that picked up some speed off his chest there. It gave, I know much dives and he does well, but it probably gave him a wee scare.
1-0 to Rangers at Ibrox, 19 on the clock. It's a long ball forward. It's going to come harmlessly though through to Jack Butland, who will hold on. Just a pointer to tomorrow, St Mirren Celtic, 2 o'clock kickoff live in Sports and Adrionians, Heart of Midlothian, 5 o'clock kickoff for that one live on the telly, as well as right here on BBC Radio Scotland. And the draw for the quarter-finals, just so you know, is going to be happening before that Airdrie Hearts game, live across BBC Scotland, including here on Sports Sound. So the draw for the Scottish Cup quarter-finals before kick-off at the Excelsior. So big game in the Cup there, 2 big matches in the Cup tomorrow as Ayr pinch it back, and it's Dowds. It's slipped through to left-hand side. Rangers stretch at the back here. Dowds up to the edge of the box, onto the left foot. It's a brilliant challenge with John Souttar. Really outstanding, and he probably earns his luck because it comes back off Dowds and out for a Rangers throw-in on the far side, just as the Ayr United striker was waiting to pull the trigger on the left foot.
No, it was good defending from John there. I think from Ayr, you're just wanting somebody else to try and get up in touch with Dowds there, an arm midfielder or a winger, just trying to give him that option, whether it was an overlap or something. I think sometimes he was just sort of left on his own there. Tried to step over to try and get the shot away, but it was great defending from John Souttar.
I tell you what, it was 2 very big challenges and really good ones, because had they got them wrong, either man could have been sent off. First of all, Connor Goldson takes a real heavy touch and launched himself into the challenge. Had he not got the ball there, that could have easily been a red card, because he's left the floor and he's really committed to it. Same with John Souttar on Dowds. He has to get that one spot on, because if he misses it, it's a red card all day long.
Yeah, reasons for optimism though for Ayr United, just in the last few minutes, I would suggest.
But Liam, it's what we're talking about. The midfield of Rangers are just gone at times. Raskin, Diamande, Jack, all gone. So if Ayr United can get their head up and get it to Dowds, they've got chances for counter-attack football here.
Right for Rangers though, out to the far side. He gets it from Diamande, moving it infield. It's cut out the angle of the box there by Sila. He's going to try and control it in the chest on the left-hand side. It's Tavernier who slides in, goes out of play off the Ayr man. Last is Willie Collin. Rangers throw in, which Tavernier takes quickly into the midfield for Ryan Jack. 21 in, Rangers with a 1-0 lead as Jack, first time ball out wide left of the box for Barisic, looks up, gets the cross in, it's cut out well by McAllister. with the head. It breaks out to Jack on this near side.
Again, it's this left side though, Liam. Cortez is mixing his game up really well. You know, at times he stays wide, other times he's coming right in there. He's dragging McAllister right inside, which is meaning a hell of a shift for Logan Chalmers.
I don't really think Logan Chalmers knows what's happening.
No, he doesn't know if it's night or noon. And it's purely down to Cortez's movement and the ability of Barisic to get up high.
Yeah, Oscar Cortez looks at the kind of player who can have a big save for Rangers between now and the business
good.
end of the season.
He looks really, really good, really sharp. I think what every fan wants to see is everything is forward. His first instinct is always to go forward, pass forward, run forward, take a touch forward. And that's what fans want to see, but he looks really, really good.
On loan from Lens in France, just 4 sub-appearances for them since joining them in the summer. From Millonarios in his homeland Colombia, he's won cap for his country as well. As Tavernier picks up right of the centre circle, it's infield here for Raskan, who turns it out to Suter on the Rangers left. Walking pace up to halfway, moves it to Cortez, and then back to Suter.
This is a situation where Ayr cannot switch off. They've had a couple of good half chances.
Yeah.
And if they go and switch off and they end up losing another goal, that's it done.
Yeah.
So it's super important.
Reading slightly out of position as Wright plays it in towards Tavernier. It's well dealt with by Jamie Murphy. He's done some decent defensive work this evening so far. 23 on the clock, went into the second quarter of this 5th round tie. And Tavernier will bowl it to Jack. Back to Tavernier, then back to Ryan Jack again. Sweeps it into the midfield for Raskan. Barisic comes short. That's where it goes. Croatian out to Cortez on this near side, up against McAllister, who challenges Silva, who fouls McAllister, and Silva's going to be yellow carded as well. And more reasons for Silva to have a go at the official. He was actually having a go at Willie Collin when he was claiming there was a penalty for Rangers. I know Martin Dowden, our pitch side reporter, has had an opportunity to see a replay of that. I know it was going back several phases in play, but was there anything in it? Clearly with video assisted here, and they haven't gone back, then probably not, but you've had a chance to have a look at it.
Yeah, Neil called it absolutely bang on. Player clearly gets the ball. I've just did a rerun of the Fabio Silva booking there. Clearly catches the player right on the toe with his studs, so you can see why it was given.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, Neil, some decent work done by Philippe Clement in the transfer market in January.
Yeah.
You consider the amount of money Silva's gone for in the past as well.
Yeah, by all accounts, I think Diamande has been one that's been tracked for a long time. Fabio Silva, I'm not sure how quick he is as a number 9, but he's so strong. He's a really intelligent looking player, and I think he's settled really well into this Rangers side, moving across the pitch to Cortez. Again, I'd like to see him going in a foot race with McAllister, just to get my eyes open and see how quick he is. But one thing he's really good at mixing his game up. It's maybe something that Ryan Kent didn't do as a wide player. But yeah, on the face of it, good business done by Philippe Clement. But as I said, Liam, most of the good work that he's done since he's come in is actually getting more out of the existing players. So he's complemented them with a couple of good signings, it looks like.
Yeah, just that one defeat still at Celtic Park. He's delivered silverware. The Rangers manager continuing seamlessly through life in the job at the moment. He's got an opportunity to potentially go to the top of the league when they play their game in hand here on Wednesday against Ross County. For Aberdeen, Motherwell to come Wednesday night as well. As some of the clubs in arrears begin to mop those up. Here is Murphy for United, just turning it to the right of the centre circle. It's picked up here by Stanger, out to McAllister, who steps in field. Back it comes to Stanger. Bounced off Jack on its way through. Sila forward to McAllister, up to the edge of the area. It's Dowds, turns, shoots, deflected behind. Ayr United corner, almost on 26. Rangers with a 1-0 lead, but again, good build-up play by the visitors. Good
play all round, I think. Patient play for the back into the midfield, back out to the centre half, and then managing to work it out wide. And that's all really Ayr want to do, is you want to try and do that, get a foothold in the game, and hopefully these are the big things now, corner kicks, throw-ins, things like that, so they hopefully can get a decent ball and get a decent opportunity off it.
Jamie Murphy comes out to take on this near side, right-footed. It's a deep one, very deep. It's won by McGinty, heads for goal, but it's a comfortable take for Butland as they tried to put some pressure on the Rangers 6-yard box there. It's well dealt with by the home number 1, who finds Tavernier out to the right-hand side. Tavernier infield, into the midfield for Diamande, out to Barisic on this near side. Now Cortez, he's taking on McAllister, and he's away from him as well, and he's driving into space inside the box on the right foot. He shoots, it's blocked. Might have been by his own man there. Diamande got up in support, probably too close to him in the end. Chalmers comes away with it for air. Down goes Suter. No fouls, is the referee. Now Dowds has it in air, and 3-on-2 here. Anton Dowds can slip it to McKenzie. He's overhit the pass though. Scott Brown frustrated. McKenzie still has it. He volleys it across, and it's headed behind for the corner by Jack. Brilliant play on the counter there by Ayr United. The Rangers supporters booing because they feel that John Suter was fouled in the build-up.
Yeah, but again, it's talking about the cover. Both fullbacks are gone. All the midfielders are higher up. So when Ayr United won it, as Ryan's talking about, it's really important that you go and maximise it. Don't wait any support, just go and kill the space. And although he takes a ball wide, probably wider than McKenzie would have liked, he whipped in a brilliant cross. Dowds is inches away from that.
Different corner taker. Chalmers taking this one. Left-footed. Murphy went very deep a moment ago. This one's deep towards the back post. It's towards McGinty. It's headed away. And Ayr United have their third corner in as many minutes here at Ibrox, this time over on the far side.
Yeah, much better. I think the in-swinger, always liked an in-swinging corner. I think especially when you're at a place like this, get an in-swinger, get it on top of the centre half, get it on top of the goalkeeper, get your bodies in there. It was a good ball in. Hopefully Jamie can put another one in.
Yeah, Murphy this time over on that far side, dinks it into the box. It's a commanding header away by Raskin. Didn't really beat the first man though, so Murphy will be frustrated with that, as Scott Brown was with Anton Dowds a moment ago when he could have slipped McKenzie in. Header away by Tavernier.
Yeah, just shoved him wider than McKenzie would have liked, Liam. And Scott Brown just turns away. He looked at a high level of disgust actually, but McKenzie did well, because in fact maybe Dowds thought because he's wide he's not going to produce such a high quality cross, but he did it, McKenzie, he really did. They're a good front two, them two.
Pass initially just took the momentum away from the attacks. What Brown was frustrated about. Rangers come forward. Barisic with the ball in. It's wonderful again, and Silva heads it down into the ground and well wide, and it stays Rangers 1, Ayr 0, almost on 29 minutes. But it's what we were talking about 10 minutes ago, Ryan. The game has settled down. It's Rangers aren't coming at Ayr United at the same ferocious pace as they were in the opening 10 minutes. They got the goal in that time, of course, but similar to the other night here.
I think it's going to be very hard to keep that pace and that sort of relentless press and keep that up for 90 minutes. But you can see obviously that's what they work on. I think the manager would obviously, that will be in their sort of notes during the week, will be to start every single game, especially here at Ibrox, to be on the front foot. It engages the crowd, and it certainly did. I mean, listen, they can step back off it now, they're 1-0 up, and they come there with a couple of half chances, but they're comfortably in control in the main, because you know Barisic puts in a great ball there, Silva getting on the end of it, so you know they can hurt Ayr United at any chance. But Ayr United just need to try and keep doing what they're doing, staying in it.
Scott Brown's really not happy about something down there. He's been given
the fourth advantage, Liam.
Yeah, it's the fourth official, Craig Napier. He's ripping right through down there. He's still going at him.
Yeah, one of his men were down there, and Ayr United had broken into the right back area, and they actually had a man over in the right wing, and he's absolutely furious. He might have looked more intimidating had he gone back to the skinhead right enough. That hair softened him up a wee bit.
It's Ayr on the ball here in the midfield. It's nicked by Dempsey, and then back it comes to McGinty, crosses halfway. It's a chip ball, looking for Chalmers out this near side. Barisic with a header, and down goes McAllister, fouled by Cortez. This is a good little spell for Ayr United here, just beyond the half-hour mark. They trail 1-0, but they've got a free kick here about level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box on this main stand side.
Listen, Ayr need to just keep doing what they're doing. As I said a couple of minutes ago, they just need to keep doing what they're doing, keep in the game. You don't get caught up too much of it. You know, at the end of the day, if it goes to 80 minutes and it's still 1-0, they're still in a half-decent position.
Interesting set-up, Ryan. They've done this before, where there's 2-3 men offside against the zonal marking. You would imagine they're hoping that Rangers are going to drop them.
Well, they'll come out and hopefully kind of block the boys, get back in the way. Hopefully it'll free up McGinty, look at McGinty in the back.
Dempsey and Chalmers over it. It's been left for Dempsey, right-footed, bends it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's a little bit too high there for Ayr United. It was Stanger who jumped there, perhaps still a little bit too much stretching of the neck muscles to be able to do anything with it. Rangers are able to clear it. It stays 1-0 to the hosts.
Again, I think that should be an in-swinger.
Yeah, I think everything. I think when you're, as I said, when you're at grounds like this, I think absolutely everything you've just got to put on top of the defenders and that sort of 6-yard box area on top of the goalkeeper.
Scott Brown down there, he's kicking every ball as Diamande is fouled, and the yellow card is flashed at Sila. Brings Diamande crashing to the deck.
Pretty needless as well, I think, for him as well to go now. What's it going to be? 70 minutes on a yellow card's going to be difficult as well, which Ayr don't need. Ayr don't need to pick up any sort of needless bookings.
Former Brentford B team player Sila. Rascan picks up for Rangers with Barisic, the left angle of the box, cleared by McAllister, and it comes all the way through to Jack Butland. Scott Brown scored in his final playing appearance here at Ibrox. It was in Aberdeen colours, a 2-2 draw. Actually put his team 2-0 up on the night under Stephen Glass. Suter finds Goldson, back to John Suter in the centre circle, and then to Jack to the left of it. Jack forward, there to Cortez, back to Jack, thinks it forward to Diamande, gets a little touch Silva onto it, but it's good defending there by McGinty and Stanger. One with the challenge, the other with the clearance. Comes to Tavernier over on the far side, back to Goldson. He squares it in field to Rascan, everyone bar Butland in the Ayr half. All of a sudden, Rascan to Goldson, back in field to the young Belgian. Low ball forward, Silva's little touch is cut out, and away comes Anton Dowds again. It's a good out ball for Ayr. Right to Dempsey on the near side, looking to slip it through to McKenzie, asking too much of him though, and Goldson covers across, and Goldson is fouled there by McKenzie, and that's going to be a free kick to Rangers, and it's going to be a warning from Willie Collum.
No.
That's a yellow card as well.
That's never a yellow card.
It didn't look as though he was going to book him initially, but he has now.
They're both very similar, so Willie's been consistent.
Yeah.
I actually don't believe any of them were yellow cards.
No, I think Silva's one is his first tackle in the game as well. You know it's a striker's tackle.
But it's just mistimed.
Yeah.
He's just
There's no malice in it.
Yeah.
It's Cortez, left angle of the box, back to Rascan, looks up, little dink ball into the penalty area, is headed away by Reading, only as far as Tavernier. Side football out to the right hand side, Scott Wright in the touchline, back to Tavernier. There's about 11 minutes left in the first half. Scott Brown's got to be pretty content with what he's seen from his team so far. The Rangers manager has seen in bursts what his team is capable of. He'll want them to, talking about keeping the ante up for longer than 10-15 minute spells. So the Postecoglou Celtic side do that continuously the last couple of seasons. The cross comes in from right from the far side, and it's a pretty comfortable take for Robbie Much at his near post. Just over 10 to the break. Rangers 1, Ayr United 0.
Yeah, Ayr just need to be quite happy. I think funneling Rangers through the middle. I think the problems for United come when the Rangers get down the sides of them, when it goes wide to Barisic or right there, getting one of the best of crosses, but trying to put a cross in the box. I think Ayr will be more than happy when Rangers start trying to play Davy balls through the middle of the park. They're all quite tight Ayr, they're in a good shape, so they can sort of funnel that out.
Rangers have it with Silva over on the right hand side in the attacking third, back to Tavernier. Tavernier's a chip ball back towards Silva, who hoists it back into the air for Wright. Doesn't really know what it is, but he's done well to find Tavernier, whose effort's blocked. Breaks back to Rascan, and then turn it back to Goldson. Goldson square to Jack. He's actually just going to leave it for Barisic. Play right to Cortez, back to Barisic. Rangers looking for a second before the interval. Here's a lovely ball by Barisic. Silva's header. They're appealing for a penalty for handball, not for the first time this evening. McAllister clears. It seemed a more clear-cut appeal, if not clear-cut decision for Willie Collum. We didn't think it struck the arm or hand of the Ayr defender. It was more obvious than the other one. The players were all bunched up together. As Jack picks up on this near side, outside of the boot forward to Cortez, looking to hold off McAllister. He's done that. He finds Barisic, but it's gone over the line, and it's Rangers 1, Ayr United 0.
Liam, even if it did strike the big man's arm, I wouldn't have said it was any deliberate action. I don't think he's making his body bigger deliberately. He almost put the brakes on, because the ball's getting fed into Fabio. He's putting the brakes on, and what happens is when you put the brakes on one side, the other side counter levers for balance, and it came up. So if it did strike, it would have been a total accident. It would have been really harsh to award a penalty against McGinty there.
Diamandi for Rangers, he's overhit the pass, but Scott Wright's got pace to burn. He is going to get there, but he's forced out wide left of the box. Turns it back to Cortez, takes a touch and then drops the shoulder, moving onto his left side. It's Cortez taking on McAllister. He wins the corner, and that's going to be for Rangers over on this left-hand side as we approach 37 minutes. Rangers 1, Ayr 0.
I like that, just mixing it up. Cortez just said there that, I was touching on it with Ryan Kent, always felt that he always wanted to go on the inside. Cortez clearly does want to go on that strong right foot, but he's prepared to go on the outside. That gives fullbacks a problem, because then they can't just overcommit. They've got to be wary of a winger going on the outside as well.
Tavernier is over at main stand side. Rangers attack the Broomloan Road end, and it comes against a deep delivery. It's headed away by the Ayr skipper McGinty. Good decisive header. The centre backs, what the goalkeepers want to see. In comes the cross ball, the second phase. Stanger's header goes back towards his own goal, but McGinty's in the way again. Here's Raskan at the right angle of the box. His attempted cross cut out by Ben Dempsey, and that's a really clever ball by Dempsey, which draws applause from his manager. Here's Murphy driving it forward, looking for Chalmers. Barisic is there though, and the Rangers goal scorer goes all the way back to his goalkeeper.
They'll just need to see this out at half-time. Just get to half-time, and then you can get back in that change room, reset. I think they'll be disappointed with the goal, I think, when you look back on it. But it is what it is. We're 1-0 down. They just need to get in, reset, and there's plenty of positives to take out if they get to half-time 1-0 down.
It's been good, Ryan, because I mean, the thing about Much hasn't had much to do. He had one back pass from McAllister from the chest. He had a straight down his throat shot from Cortez, but other than that, there's not been a great deal.
They've given it away though, and Rangers have it in the attacking third. Raskan's pass forwards, easily cut out by Dempsey, to the groans of the Rangers supporters. Dempsey's to slide in to pitch it back for Ayr on this near side. Stanger dinks it away, but here's Barisic.
He struggled a wee bit, Liam Raskan, since he's come back from injury, I think. Watching him, he's not been as sharp. It's going to take him a wee bit, of course, but he has been a little bit loose in possession.
Goldson to Tavernier, back to Connor Goldson in the centre circle. He rolls it to Suter, now to Barisic on this near side touchline, level with the edge of the circle in the Ayr half. Goes back into his own for Suter, and now Goldson, big ball out to Wright. Over on that far side, Ayr clearing the ball, going over the line there. The linesman doesn't think so as Tavernier's early delivery comes in, and Much holds on to it. 6 to the break. Rangers 1, Ayr United 0 here on Sportsound and BBC Radio Scotland this Saturday evening. Scottish Cup 5th round, a place in the quarters is up for grabs. It's officially known as the 6th round these days. It's always the quarter-finals.
Quarter-finals?
Always.
Sounds much better, doesn't it?
It does.
I don't think I've ever said, oh, this is the 6th round.
I've heard it. Quarter-finals. Where Ayr United were last season, they were extremely disappointed. Chris Maguire smacking a penalty off the bar as they were denied by Falkirk, the division below them. A real shot at Hampden was ripped away from them. Inside of play with a throw, and of course a real chance getting to the final as well when Celtic and Rangers were drawn together in the semis last season. There's Tavernier to the edge of the box. Diamandi's found Cortez left hand side of the box. Final 5 of the first half, across the face of goal, and no takers. He might have been going for goal himself there as he slaps his hands in frustration. 40 on the clock. Rangers 1, Ayr United 0.
Did that take a touch of Much studs there? I wasn't sure. It sort of looked at it a little deviation a bit.
I mean, he's a difference right now, isn't he?
He has. He's been a standout for Rangers. But Tavernier was inches away from a tap-in as well. Diamandi, I've been quite impressed with him. I'm not kidding, maybe ask about him, but he looks at a really, really secure first touch about him. It'll take him time to get up to the speed of the Scottish game, of course it will, but he's had a decent wee impact in the game. But Cortez, you're right, Ryan, he's been a standout.
think for Ayr, every time that he gets it, they need to just try and double down on him.
Yeah.
Especially if you get into the second half and it gets to the latter stages of the game.
Here's right for Rangers, driving down the right-hand side of the Ayr box, level with the 6-yard line, cuts it across and clear by McGinty.
He's been excellent. He's been absolutely excellent. Sorry, that's McGinty.
Yeah, no, he really has. Former youth player at Manchester United, of course. The Irishman, he's been the rock for Ayr United. Here's Jack, chip ball forward, just a bit too much on it for Diamande.
I nearly just cussed him there.
Yeah, he comes right through the keeper.
Yeah, Diamande just running off his back, yeah. He had the judgment perfect.
Yeah, he had it covered.
A really good run from Diamande, good spot from Ryan Jack.
That 3-0 win for Queen's Park earlier at East End Park rocketed them up to 6th, Ayr down to 7th, Cally Thistle down to 8th.
That's a huge win.
Yeah,
it really has, and it's been a.
Well, that's put Dunfermline down the playoff spot.
It's been such a difficult run of results for James McPake there at Dunfermline. They've been sucked right in. Callum Davidson's made a big impact.
Yeah. The double cup winning manager back in the game at Queen's Park, and another positive, very positive result for them. Of course, he came off second best against Scott Brown's Ayr a couple of weekends ago.
2 big wins at the back of Inverness last week.
Yeah.
Teams around about them. He's suddenly got a tune out of that side.
Here is John Suter for Rangers, knocking it through to a brilliant ball to Cortez. He just couldn't quite take it into his stride. He's forced wide out to the corner flag. Faced here by Stanger, level with the 6-yard line. Still he's taking on Stanger, twisting back onto his left, and he overcooks it. Stanger stands his ground. Former Hamilton defender gets it clear. He did well, he stuck to his task.
Yeah, he had a couple of old chops, and he didn't lose the power on his thighs. He was strong, he didn't overcommit. He was good on the next yard of change of pace. The Cortez, again, just showing that he wants to mix it up, wants to go on the outside, jump to go inside, want to hit the byline. I like it.
Rangers have it on the right-hand side. So Rascan finds Tavernier back to Jack, centre point of the Ayr half. And out to Tavernier again. Final couple of minutes of the first 45. Tavernier gets the break of the ball, moving to the edge of the penalty area. Squares it short to Jack, and then to Cortez, back to Jack, to Silva. It's also congested in the middle there. Ayr are just throwing bodies in the way anywhere they can to prevent Rangers getting through to score a second before the interval. And it is Rangers coming through. Jack, left-hand side of the box. Diamande comes off. Stanger and out for a throw-in by the corner flag on this near side. Barisic happy to take it from level with the penalty spot, though, to get the game underway quickly. He finds Jack, who finds Cortez, who exchanges passes with Diamande. Central area here for Tavernier. Tavernier then helps it out to the right-hand side for Scott Wright, taking on Reading. It's a clever chip ball into the box. Barisic attacks it! What a save by Much there off his defender! Up into the air it goes, and clear by Logan Chalmers. Wonderful reaction save by the Ayr United goalkeeper to keep his team in the cup. It stays 1-0 to the hosts.
Yeah, it was a brilliant stop. Did it come off of Stanger? I think it comes off
one of the centre backs. Yeah. It's come at some pace.
I think it clips off a Stanger, but Barisic should score it. What a stand-up it is from Scott Wright.
Here come Rangers again. Jack, Silva, clever touch, Silva's in. Much is down low, where the boots were flying to hold on to it, and it stays Rangers 1, Ayr United 0.
He needs to just stay down in it.
Yeah, so the Ayr can kill the time.
Ayr just need to get a breath just now, but what a save, unbelievable.
I tell you, it comes at him at some pace as well. We're right behind that one again, Ryan, and Barisic actually, it hits his ankle, inside of his ankle.
Yeah.
He should
Barisic
score.
should probably do better.
He should,
it's a great save, a great, really strong arm to get it away. And exactly what Ayr need. Ayr are going to need that. They're going to need big defenders. They're going to need Much to come up with some decent saves, and that was certainly one of them. But Ayr just need to take the sting out of this game. They need to get half-time now.
Yeah, it looks like the keeper's okay. 1 minute of additional time, and we're into that now. Charlie Albin's been starting in goal for Ayr, and kind of raised an eyebrow with you, Ryan, before a ball was kicked. The team news arrived early on.
I always think that the biggest thing you can, when you've got a good team, is your goalkeeper pretty much picks itself all the time. So yeah, it was a bit of a strange one, but
he's justified his inclusion, hasn't he? Suter for Rangers, just walking the ball out of defence. How's Philippe Clement feeling, do you think, Neil? as we approach the break?
I don't think he'd be too happy. I think the start of the game was excellent. But I don't think he'd be too happy with Rangers. They've certainly controlled territory, but I wouldn't say they've really had a real strong grip of the game where they're putting Ayr through the ringer. I mean, Ayr have actually done really well, and as I said, Robbie Much there was a deflection where Barisic should score, but there's not been a great deal from him. You'll be looking for more.
Half time at Ibrox. Rangers with the advantage, but Ayr United have competed as well, if not better than some Premiership sides have done here in Govan this season. But it is Rangers who have the lead. Borna Barisic striking his first goal in just over a year on 11 minutes, driving the ball through a ruck of bodies into the bottom left, not quite into the corner, but enough power to outwit Robbie Much in goal. What a fantastic save it was from the Ayr goalkeeper just at the end. Again, it was Barisic threatening his effort. Came off one of the centre-backs. We think it was Stanger. It was coming at him at some pace. OK, it's right at him, but it was an instinctive point-blank save to keep Ayr United in the tie. They're threatening the counter now and again. Anton Dowds, perhaps in particular, Mark McKenzie as well, as they've tried to get back on level terms, but Rangers have had opportunities. Cortez, when the score's still blank in the first couple of minutes, clipped the outside of the post. He also had a shot saved, which was right at Robbie Much. Comfortable enough it was. And that was coming before the Barisic opener. Cortez also had a shot across the face of goal, which went wide on the reverse side of the goal frame. So, half-time under the lights here at Ibrox in the Scottish Cup 5th round tie is Rangers 1, Ayr United 0.
The Scottish Cup.
This is the chance of winning for the cross-court come must be it.
Live on Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland. Guiding you through the stories making the news.
What's the situation, David?
It's been a bit of everything. High waters, high winds, power cuts as well.
What's this all about?
Quite often the exchanges between the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition do get a little bit testy.
The issues that matter to us all.
This is a safety issue for our children.
Homes people can't afford.
The stories that just have to be told.
So it's a type of reptile that flew over the heads of dinosaurs.
This could be a Scottish-only species.
As far as we know, it is.
Wake up to Good Morning Scotland. Listen to Lunchtime Live from noon.
Head home with Drive Time. Weekdays on BBC Radio Scotland and Sounds.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. We have Scottish Cup 5th round action for you today. It finished earlier on. Aberdeen 2, Bonnie Rose 0. Inverness Cally Thistle 1, Hibs 3. Kilmarnock 2, Cove Rangers 0. A remarkable game at Firhill. Partick Thistle were 2-0 up at home to Livingston. Livy fought back 2-2, went to extra time, and that winner went in the 120th minute. Tete Yengi with that goal for Davy Martindale's side. How important will that prove to be in terms of their confidence as they look to rebuild the league campaign? They are, of course, adrift at the bottom of the Premiership table. So joining Morton in the draw, which will take place tomorrow, Aberdeen, Hibs, Kilmarnock, Livingston, and as things stand, Rangers, they have that 1-0 half-time advantage over Ayr United. And of course, plenty more Scottish Cup action coming tomorrow right here on BBC Radio Scotland.
The Scottish Cup, live on Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
And here come St Mirren again. There's the Gunners! First chance of the game and a goal! Celtic in front inside 60 seconds.
I tell you what is a fine finish, but there is a shock on.
Number 16.
Number 16, it's a home tie for St Mirren.
Number 6.
Number 6, the holders and the record 41-time winners, Celtic.
It's a one-off game. We believe we can cause problems against anybody at home. We know what we're coming up against. We're due to get the better of them sooner rather than later again.
We played really well a few weeks there ago at St Mirren, and we'll have to do that again to get into the next round.
We go into the game with confidence, but we also know that we need to be right at our very best. We need a good start. We need the crowd behind us, and who knows?
Number 2.
Airdrieonians in the 5th round for the first time since 2009.
Number 8.
They will host Heart of Midlothian. They've made it to 3 of the last 5 Scottish Cup finals.
We want to test ourselves against the best, and obviously we know that we've got to be on our game, and hopefully it's a good day for everyone, supporters, players and everyone connected with the club.
Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland.
And that draws live on Sports Sound tomorrow. Just a reminder, you can watch all the highlights on Sports Scene this evening, 10:30 on BBC One Scotland. Neil McCann and Ryan Stevenson are at Ibrox for us. Rangers with a 1-0 advantage here. Borna Barisic with the early goal, that coming on 10 minutes. Ryan, just seen the pictures coming into the studio here. It's a terrific away support there this afternoon, isn't it?
Yeah, listen, to be fair, you hear loads of people talking about it being a bit of a sleeping giant, and I think it is that, and I think hopefully with everything going off the park now, you can see with the numbers that they're bringing up to Ibrox that if things go well off the park and we can replicate that on the park, that turns into that sort of giant that we all hope it could be.
How would you assess the first half performance from Ayr United?
Yeah, I think they've done well. I think they were disappointed in the goal. I think they would have realised that in the main, Rangers are going to have the bulk of the possession and the play. But they've had a couple of half chances, they've had little breaks that they've a better ball or a better cross. They might have a better couple of chances. I think now into the second half, you can see as much as Barisic is going forward for Rangers, is when they get that possession sort of on the McGinty side on the left, is can they get Chalmers, because Barisic is so high. At times Barisic is actually playing up as a centre forward. Can they actually, if they'd get that possession, can they switch it out onto that side, because there is a massive gap and Souttar's left on his own. And to be fair to Ayr, the times that they've actually caused problems has been down John Souttar's side. So listen, I think all in all, you're 1-0 down, you know you're going to come up against it. It was just important they didn't lose that second goal, and hopefully they can come out in the second half and perform the same way as they did in the first. And if they get a chance to take it.
Yeah, they're still very much in the game, Ryan. It's interesting. You'll have experienced this yourself, perhaps in your younger days, but a few nervy moments of some of the players there, giving possession away very cheaply.
Yeah, Luke Chalmers, I think, listen, I've seen Luke a lot this season. He's a very, very good player. I think the question mark becomes defensively, does he switch off at times? Yes, he does. He is young. And I think you saw that at the start, that Ayr actually started the game probably better than what Rangers did. The first sort of 30 seconds, a minute, I know it was only a brief sort of spell, but then Logan gave the ball away twice, and off that Rangers hit the post, and then not long after that Barisic gets a goal. And when you come to these places, it's so vitally important that these little things, these little details, you hear it all the time in the big massive games, it's little details. But as he settled into the game, he got more better, and he kept the ball, and he's a couple of good passages of play. But into that second half again, it's more about when he comes out, as he switched on, because you know for a fact that if Rangers score again, the tie will be pretty much dead.
Your thoughts, Neil, on that first half performance from the home side?
Good start, bright start. Really like Cortez. I've been speaking about him a lot. He's a winger that mixes his game up. I like, because the full-back then got a lot to think about. The relationship between him and Barisic looks really good down this left side. They have gained a lot of territory, Rangers, and they've held their ground within it, but without really cutting Ayr United open. I did say that if you're coming up against a side that play 25-30 yards out with most of their players there, 10 players around about that area, then your wide players are really important, because they can isolate people, go past, and then it's cutbacks rather than trying to work quick 1-2s, because I don't think Rangers have been overly effective working the 1-2s. Silva, you can see he's complaining a wee bit, Kenny, where McGinty's been touch tight with him a number of times, and you can see he's throwing his arms around. He doesn't like the physical contact, but that's part of Ayr United in their makeup and what they're going to have to do today. But I said just before the end of the half there, I felt that Philippe Clement will look for more, and one in particular, Raskin, I felt was pretty rusty, and I think he has been rusty since he came back. I wouldn't be surprised if Todd Cantwell maybe comes onto the pitch. I think he's a player that can play in a more offensive role, and that would allow maybe Ryan Jack to sit back and Diamande to get in touch, because I feel that Raskin has been off it. He's probably a player that maybe he's benefiting from game time, but sometimes when you come back from an injury, Kenny, you can feel good and then you start at a little dip, and it might be an opportunity just to freshen it up again. But as Ryan says, if Rangers get the second goal, that'll kill the tie, but when it's still at 1, I still think they've got a threat with Dowds, Mackenzie. I like the both of them in their relationship, and they will try and play in the counter-attack.
What about Diamande, Neil? He came on as a substitute in the game against Aberdeen on Tuesday evening. What have you seen from him in his early stages?
Yeah, very brief against Aberdeen, but I was really keen to see how he performed today. I mean, he's going to have to perform at a higher level, clearly, operate at a higher level to show how good he is. But he's what I did notice right away is that his first touch was really good, really secure. He's had a couple of balls zipped into him, and his take on it has been excellent. So clearly, technically, he's very good. He looks like he wants to get in touch. I know it's against Ayr United where they're going to sit deep, so he's going to have opportunities where he's going to be able to join in and run off or even beyond the front players. In a game where they're going to have to defend, I don't know actually what he's best. I think he's probably an attacking-minded midfielder rather than a holding type midfielder. And if you're going to be an attacking midfielder and you're going to sometimes have to play with your back to goal, then your first touch is going to have to be good, your awareness is going to be good, and he looks like he's got that. Ryan's better placed to talk about attacking midfielders than I am, Kenny, coming from a central position. But I think he looks decent, but you can't judge him on what I've seen so far.
I look at the bench, Ryan. I see two players there, Ridvan Yilmaz and Lundstrom, and these are two players in recent weeks under the new manager that have really blossomed. Have you experienced that yourself in the past, or perhaps teammates, Ryan, where it just, with a certain manager, it just clicks?
Yeah, listen, I think the manager sort of he needs that. He demands that. I think you can see, obviously, the Rangers games I've been at this season, when Michael Beale was here, you could see how toxic it was. I said at the start of the show, even just in the first 5-10 minutes, you could see how everything's changed.
Yeah.
And I think when you see, I really like John Lundstrom. I think he absolutely controls the team. I think he controls the tempo of it. I think he's got that bite about him as well, which I think Rangers need. I think the Rangers fans want that. I think they want to see that. They want to see somebody that will go into a tackle and demands off other players. And I think he is massive. The worrying thing for Ayr is the fact that you can go and bring these players on. But I think for Rangers, all in all, I think just as a group, I think Neil touched on it as well, I think you can see as a group right across the full board, not just the ones that are playing regularly. The manager has done something to the full group that's totally changed everything in here, along with the fans, and I think that is down to his personality. I think that is down to the way he conducts himself. But I think Monday to Friday in the training ground, it'll be the demands that he puts on the players, and the players are obviously warming to that, are taking on board what he's saying. And you've seen Rangers go from strength to strength. That's a tongue twister.
Yeah,
it's cold here, Ryan. Don't worry, it's cold, man.
Anyway, they're going from strength to strength, and I think they'll keep doing that between now and the end of the season, because I think he demands that.
Guys, where would you stand then? Because I've been asking our pundits over the past couple of weeks, and I mentioned this before kick-off tonight, just looking at the title race now. Do you see it as been a 50-50, or do you see one squad still having the advantage?
For me, it's 50-50, Kenny. The title is without question on. All Rangers can do, because they're still having to make up ground, is apply pressure. And so far in recent times, Celtic have dealt with pressure better than anyone. But I think this season, you can see they're feeling it now. What they haven't had to contend with, the Celtic players, maybe in the past, Kenny, for me, is stand pressure, where supporters are very vocally voicing their discontent on performances. Think about that Ross County game where they won 1-0, deflected goal, albeit it was a win. They got booed off the pitch, and even the other night at Easter Road, that you could see that Hibs actually, when they got the equaliser, were probably the team in the ascendancy and actually more likely to get the winner. But they'll have to keep on dealing with that pressure as long as Rangers keep applying it, and so far you have to say that Rangers are the team with the momentum. I think when it comes down to the next game here at Ibrox, Rangers, I think, in my opinion, under Philippe Clement, would have said, right, that tunnel vision, that one game at a time, chip away, get as close to Celtic as we possibly can, and then once it's in touching distance and we go head to head, that's where it will really come to the crunch, and that's the way it's heading. A game at Ibrox, it'll be a partisan crowd. If they're neck and neck getting into that game, I mean, it's going to be a wonderful atmosphere, and that'll tell you where the two teams are in terms of the power. I do believe that Celtic have not strengthened the way the Celtic fans would have liked. I was really I was really surprised, and I think the board, the fans would have been disappointed with the amount of players, but the level of players that was brought in. I'm not saying Kuhn is not a good player, or Ida is not a good player, but I think Celtic fans would have thought the board will put some money down here. You know, financially we're strong.
Left back as well, guys.
I think they had to go big in January.
Yeah.
I just think for the full.
The prize, Ryan, the Champions League prize is enormous.
I think the full mood round about the club as well. If they went big, it would have got the fans off their back. I think fans would have then sat back and went, all right, that's fine, we're going to go for it, we're going to push for it. I think just the momentum here at Ibrox just now, and again, I'm going back to what Neil touched on, is see when everyone's going in the right direction, is the momentum and the force behind that is very, very hard to stop, and I don't think the manager will allow that here. You can just tell, as I said, you can just tell the way he is. So for me, I think it's in Rangers' hands. I genuinely do.
Yeah, you're Kenny. I think did you say left back? Or was it Ryan? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm saying left back. I know, Neil. I was told that they thought they had Owen Beck coming in January. Of course, Jurgen Klopp had to play him down at Liverpool, and that meant he couldn't then turn out obviously for another club. But I know, just looking at Celtic fans on social media, with a Celtic fan in the programme last week, Neil, and he was saying, look, very, very disappointing, and he said all the fans have known for a long, long time they needed strengthening, support, competition at left back.
Well, that's a position it's always been looked at. Listen, I think since Kieran Tierney left the club, I think Greg Taylor has done a wonderful job in there, but even then the Celtic fans were probably not thinking that he was the dream left back to replace Kieran Tierney, and then Bernabeu's come in and he's never really hit the ground running. So yeah, Owen Beck would have been a wonderful sign, didn't get him, but nonetheless, when you're looking at Anthony Ralston coming on and playing left back and Bernabeu coming off, that tells its own story, Kenny. But like I said, I don't think the strength in the way Celtic fans would have wanted. It's a long debate, this one, but I feel that Rangers are right on their coattails, but they have to sustain the pressure. They can't drop off, but the signs that everyone's seeing is that the rotational squad is keeping everybody on their toes. Everybody thinks they've got a chance, and everybody is feeling part of it. And as I said at the start of the programme, when you've got a squad of players that all feel involvement on good things, that's when you start to get a real great deal of belief. But the belief is built on results, Kenny, and so far Rangers are getting them.
Yeah, and the focus, of course, very much on the Scottish Cup and booking their place in tomorrow's quarter-final draw. I'm just seeing Scott Brown come out the tunnel. Ryan, what's he like when you guys are a great vantage point there? What's he like in the touchline, Scott Brown? Quite animated?
Yeah, he's quite composed. I think, I was saying at half-time there, I think the only thing he's probably looking for now is when they get that possession, and they've got safe possessions to try and get that switch over Barishic's side. I think when Ayr haven't done that and they've sort of been back into the trouble, he's been animated. But I think in the main he's sort of being calm. I think he has to be calm because his players will probably look at him and want him to be calm. But yeah, all in all, I think he'll be happy. It's just about how Ayr United start that second half, and hopefully if they can keep Rangers at bay for the next kind of half an hour, 35 minutes, then they give themselves a chance near the end of the game.
So following the 3 o'clock kickoffs, Aberdeen, Hibs, Kilmarnock and Livingston have joined Morton in the draw for the quarter-finals of the Scottish Cup. That draw will take place tomorrow. Full coverage on Sports, and let's find out whether Rangers or Ayr United will join them. Rangers with the advantage. Let's get back to Neil, Ryan and Liam McLeod.
Thanks, Kenny. Ayr United's best in the Scottish Cups, reaching the semis 3 times. 1973 they did it, and then twice in 3 seasons, just over 20 years ago in 2000 and 02. They are behind as Rangers kick off the second half in the blue and white, Ayr in the black and white, and the visitors shooting towards their own fans in the second half. Off to our left, the Broomloan Road End. Rangers traditionally shoot towards the Copeland Road End in the second half, and they do so this evening. And it's with Rascan for Rangers. No changes for either team at the start of the second half. So Butland in goal for the hosts, Tavernier, Goldson, Suter, Barisic, Diamande, Jack and Rascan. Wright and Cortez either side of Silva as Rangers attack the Ayr team in a moment as the cross comes in from Cortez, but it beats everyone who goes behind for the goal kick. Robbie Much in goal for Ayr, McAllister, Stanger, McGinty and Redding, Chalmers, Sila, Dempsey, Murphy, Dowds and McKenzie. And of course, 2 of those semi-finals that Ayr United lost were to Rangers, Jock Wallace's team in 73, and Neil McCann will probably remember with some degree of fondness the other 7-0. Kanchelskis standing on the ball. Were you involved in that one?
Yeah, I didn't encourage it, but it was funny to watch. About a week later he did
it. It wasn't funny for Ayr United.
But he did, I think it was a week later, Liam, we were playing here at Ibrox against Kilmarnock, and he was up against Gary Hay. And he tried to top it by stopping the ball and jumping and doing a full rotation, 360, and then knocked it past Gary Hay. And he dealt with him, which Ayr United defender should have dealt with him, and put him up in the air.
Dealt with him the Ayrshire way.
Yeah, but I mean, Andre that day stands in the ball and then rolls it in, and we scored straight from it. But it was a nice day that day.
It was a horrible day for an United fan.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure you didn't enjoy that, Ryan.
No.
It's, meanwhile, a free kick for Ayr over on that far side. Level the edge of the D of their own box. Gordon Dalziel in charge of things back in those days. Robbie Much is going to take this free kick for Ayr over on the far side. A couple into the second half. Chip ball out to this near side. I'm not sure Jamie Murphy was too keen on it. He's done well. He's dealt with it. He chested it, hooks it over his head. Tavernier can't get onto it. It's now with Dowds for Ayr. Out to this near side. Dempsey rolls it back onto the right foot of Murphy. Steps away from two challenges. Brilliant from Jamie Murphy. Looks up, crossing and looking for Chalmers. I think he's actually going to get onto it. Chalmers hit it back to him by McAllister. He couldn't quite dig out the ball into the box. Murphy's onto it here for Ayr down the left-hand side. Promising for the visitors this. Reading with the cross. Cut out by Tavernier, and Ayr United have a corner.
What a start.
Delight of their fans over there.
What a start from Jamie Murphy. Got a ball there for the goalkeeper, and you know one of the balls where you're thinking, oh no, I don't want that, but he dealt with it brilliantly, and then went on a little mazy. Great ball out to the switch to the other side, and it filters back to him, and he gets plays in the left back there to get a corner, so hopefully a good ball in here.
Murphy will take the Ayr left, main stand side, drifts into a brilliant ball. Dempsey doesn't catch it as well as he needed to, and he rifles the right foot first time shot well wide of the left hand post. He had the freedom of the Rangers box there as well. He will be so frustrated he's not hit the target. He's looking up to the heavens for answers that aren't coming. 48 played, 1-0 Rangers.
Got to be a goal. I think when you get the chances, what a well worked corner kick there. Great ball for Jamie Murphy to pick him out. He's made the late run into the 18-yard box. And I guarantee you when that ball's just fallen to him on the volley, he's thinking, I'm away here celebrating, and he's just screwed it wide.
Yeah, brilliant opportunity for Ayr. Will they get a better one than that? They trail 1-0.
And see if they don't, he'll be sitting in the house tonight just thinking, should I just hit the target.
Yeah, love another go at that.
Great start from Ayr.
Really good, yeah, really good.
Long ball cleared there by Ayr. And Goldson gets underneath it and turns it back to his keeper and gets it back immediately from Butland, and then forward by Goldson to Rascan, back to Butland.
I said it in the first half as well, this is when Ayr will be most vulnerable, is when they have a wee chance, they have a little lift. Some players can then switch off because they think, we're in the game here.
And still thinking about it as well. If only, and then you get done.
He needs to get over that quickly, doesn't he?
Super important that the team just keep switched on here.
Barisic over on the left-hand side from forward for Diomande. Good turn, but goes to McGinty. He's able to get it to Murphy.
And he's away again.
Yeah, Reading has it though. Reading, he moved it back the way, and eventually has to go back to his keeper. He was under severe pressure from Fabio Silva. Cleared by Much first time. Underneath it is Cortez. He heads it forward, and a little cushion header back by Nick McAllister to his goalkeeper. It's a difficult start for those two in the first half, McAllister and Chalmers, but they rode out the storm to the concession of just the one goal scored by Borna Barisic on 11 minutes. Ayr are very much in this game.
Do you know that? I love that there, that little ball. He could have gone back, he's gone forward, and he gives the opportunity for a good attack for United. He could have turned back there in the middle of the pitch, Silla, but he's always looking forward. He's getting a round of applause from his manager as well.
4 corners in the game as well. Ayr took up by Cortez over on the far side, back to Barisic, who finds Suter.
Rangers will make changes.
Yeah,
I think just with the way Ayr have started, I'd imagine they'll make changes soon.
It's a long ball though for Wright. He might be in behind here, right hand side of the penalty area, takes it down here. Players coming funneling back, breaks back to the edge of the box. Jack shoots, and he screws his effort wide, low of the right hand post. And the referee's going to come over to book Scott Brown by the looks of things here. And of course that's gone down well with the Rangers supporters. I think the only person who could perhaps overshadow Willie Collum in the pantomime villain stakes amongst the Rangers fans is probably Scott Brown. So Willie Collum actually getting a little cheer there, if you want to put a positive spin on it, from the Rangers fans.
That won't last long.
That'll not happen often either. I think he was really unhappy. I felt that Scott Wright was offside. And I just wonder whether that was what Scott Brown was saying to Craig Napier.
You can clear that up pretty quickly with the VAR though, can't you, as the side net's hit by Diamande, and it will be a goal kick to Ayr, 51.5 on the clock, Rangers leading 1-0. What do you make of the video assistant being adopted at 2 of the 8 fifth-round ties? And not the others?
I don't agree with it. I think it should be, if you're getting into one round and all are doing it or none are doing it, because I just think it always raises questions, and I feel that it shouldn't be the case.
Bigger questions, for example, a penalty's not given in one game and it's given in the other.
Yeah, exactly.
There's Butland, wasn't a great ball, back to him, and his pass out to Tavernier rolls under the skipper's foot for a throw into Ayr United on this near side. Murphy will leave it for Reading.
I tell you what, Scott Brown's nipping away at this fourth official here as well, and I honestly mean this.
He's on the linesman as well.
He doesn't want to get sent off either, because then that sort of can echo onto the field as well, so he needs to keep his composure as well, because Ayr are right in this at the moment in time.
Murphy with a high ball into the box. Butland sees it early and comes out and commands it, and he drills it forward, looking for Cortez down the left. Is he going to be able to keep it in play? Not quite. It's out for an Ayr throw-in, which is taken quickly by McAllister. Back to Stanger. Rangers 1, Ayr United 0. The championship side holding their own here at Ibrox.
Yeah, it's a good point though, Ryan, you make. This is where his good friend Stephen Whittaker needs to walk out and just say, right, Gaffer, come on in. Let me stand out here for 5 minutes, just take the heat out of the situation, because he is getting involved.
And if he goes, it will echo onto the park, and Ayr cannot afford that.
I mean, that just gets the fans up as well.
Yeah, exactly.
They love to hate Scott Brown.
Oh, God, imagine a red card getting shown to Scott Brown. The roof will come off in here.
It's back here with Connor Goldson. Yeah, they've got 6 Scottish Cup winners' medals between them. The Ayr United management team, Scott Brown with 6. Stephen Whittaker collected 2. Whilst at Rangers, and Scott Brown's total of 6, just 2 off the record, which is jointly held by Charles Campbell, who did so with Queen's Park in the late 1800s, early on in the tournament's history, and Bobby Lennox, another Celtic legend who won 8 Scottish Cup winners' medals. 6 isn't bad shooting, to be fair. And Ayr have a man down over on the far side. Is it Nick McAllister who's down, Ryan?
Yeah, that'd be a worrying sign if he's struggling. I think the full-back 4 for Ayr have played well, really well, especially after taking the early goal from Barisic. And I think the way they've definitely started the second half much better than what Rangers have. To lose him would be a big blow.
It's 5 wins in their last 16 games here, United. 2 of those in the Scottish Cup. They've come through Peterhead and Kelty Hearts to get to this stage. This is their 3rd Scottish Cup tie of the season, and their 3rd different manager in the Scottish Cup this season as well. Davy White and Lee Bullen in the previous rounds. Form's been indifferent, that's why they're sitting in where they are in the league. 5 wins in 16, but Ryan, it's 3 defeats in 10. A run of 2 wins in 12's the problem, and that culminated in the goal of Strachan Arbroath that ended Bullen's time in charge at Somerset.
Yeah, I mean, I think after last year, I think they've done so well last year, and I think the way it ended in the playoff final with Thistle, everyone sort of had high hopes. I think obviously the negative side of things going so well off the park is everyone expected Ayr to come this season and be absolutely flying again. It's not been the case. It can sometimes be really hard. But hopefully with Scotland in now, and hopefully if they get a decent performance and a decent result today, they can go and kick on for the rest of the season.
It's game on here. Silva picks up to the edge of the box for Jack, to the left of it for Cortez. Barisic in the overlap, that's where it goes. Barisic at the byline, it's the cross ball in. Reading heads away, only as far as Tavernier hits it with the outside of the boot, and the volley, it's blocked. Gets it back immediately from Cortez. Here's Raskan. Out wide left, Barisic gets the nutmeg on Chalmers into the box. Barisic, and he balloons it high over the bar, and it stays on 55.5. Rangers 1, Ayr United 0 at Ibrox.
Yeah, lovely from Barisic. Just a little meg and gets his shot all wrong. Again, I'm just watching the touchline there as Barisic skied that shot over the bar. Scott Brown's applauding and then starting to get involved because he's
actually getting wound up, isn't he?
Yeah, he's getting a tie down here beside the dugout, and he's close, but instead of just switching off, he's getting involved.
Well, Raskan's taken a lot of the ball there, but the ref didn't like the challenge, the way he went in on it, and Ayr United have a free kick midway inside Rangers territory. I think it's Dempsey who's taking the full force of it. Looks as though McAllister's soldiering on. He doesn't look as though he's walking particularly comfortably, though. He's the deepest outfield Ayr player as they prepare to take a free kick that might end up in the Rangers box somewhere. But as I really saw, it was Paddy Redding who was brought crashing to the ground there by Raskan. He's going to have to try and shake it off quickly because he's taking the free kick himself on this near side. Former Middlesbrough youth player, Scotland under-21 international as well a few years ago. And it's a clever ball low to Chalmers, left-hand side of the box, pulls it across, blocked there importantly by Connor Goldson, who was on the deck when he did so. Right clears for Rangers. Cortez doesn't quite get to it. McAllister gets there first on the slide, and then McGinty goes in on a really strong challenge in Barisic, and then the referee's going to have to sort things out here. The Rangers have a man down, and it was an ungainly looking challenge this time by Anton Dowds, which is penalised, and Rangers have a free kick. Full-blooded, to be fair. 2.5 shy the hour at Ibrox. Rangers lead 1-0.
That set piece was really clever. There was a subtle block by Logan Chalmers when he runs through just on his man. I'm not sure it was Ryan Jackett who runs through the gap there, and there's a subtle block from the guy who was standing in an offside position.
Here's Wright down the right hand side of the Ayr box. They're going to try and win at least a corner. Murphy prevents it, does he? No, it flags up and will point to the corner quadrant, and this will be a chance for Rangers from the set play on this Rangers right, the main stand side.
Logan probably should have done a bit better there. I know Connor's obviously dived in and kind of made his body to try and stop the block, but if he'd actually just taken a touch there, Connor's going to slide actually out the pitch, and he's going to be clean through and goal there. So, but again, a really well worked set piece.
Yeah, it's fantastic from Redding. Barisic will take the corner. The Rangers in swinger coming up with the left boot from the Croatia international. It's a congested box. He's taken it short to Diamande, left-footed, low to the edge of the box. Tavernier, first time right foot, clipped into the area. It's headed away, and on the 18, the clearance is completed by Mark McKenzie. Here is Tavernier picking up the scraps, dink ball into the box. Silver as well, with the header. McGinty, well, he swiped it fresh air. He's fortunate and dropped to McAllister, who plays it back to McGinty, who clears his lines. And it stays Rangers 1, Ayr 0. It's so important in Ayr United for them that they don't concede again. If it goes 2-0, then the belief that they can still make a game of this will, I'm sure, evaporate pretty quickly. As Tavernier collects right of the centre circle and dinks the ball out onto the right-hand side. Scott Wright takes it down, shifts in field away from Murphy to a more right central area here. Wright gets away from one challenge, away from another. He's into the box, plays it across, then the overhead kick is cleared off the line, and then there's another overhead kick on the other side, this time from Cortez, which is blocked and cleared by Ayr. Two bicycle kick efforts from Rangers there as they strive for the second goal. It stays Rangers 1, Ayr 0, almost on the hour mark. Double change coming up. We'll get to Martin just to talk us through
triple change.
Changes yet. Oh, triple change. Here comes the cross ball into the area, breaks back to right, his efforts blocked. Out to the left, Barisic, low ball in, it's cut out. Rangers smell a second goal perhaps in the offing here. Ayr United clear their lines again though. Raskan with a cushion header back to Goldson. Good few minutes this for the hosts. It is Connor Goldson.
They need to stand their ground. They need to squeeze up as soon as that ball comes back up Rangers, back up the pitch towards Rangers. They need to get squeezed up.
Yeah, it's a big period in the game this for United, that's for sure. Here's Barisic down the left. It's a high ball towards the back post. Tavernier wins the header and it goes across the 6-yard box and behind for a goal kick.
As I was saying, it's amazing how it happens. They have a really good spell in the game, and you start to become a bit slack mentally because you think, oh, we're actually getting into the game here. And every time Ayr were going forward, they were getting deeper and deeper and deeper.
You might be able to hear these in the background. Martin, Rangers triple change.
Yeah, triple change it will be. Reid van Yilmaz coming onto the park alongside Todd Cantwell and Rabbi Matondo. Borna Barisic will make way, as will Oscar Cortez. and Mohamed Diamandi. No surprise there. Philippe Clement yesterday saying they were fit to start but wouldn't last the 90 minutes. But he's seen enough and he wants to get this game put to bed.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Rangers fans, Neil, were extremely excited by what they saw from Cortez in the early stage of this game, the first half hour probably.
Yeah, looked good. We saw last week that he's not frightened to make an early substitution. Diamandi as well, getting some really important game time. But it's tough for Ayr United because the quality has just come on. Yilmaz has been playing well, I think, of late. Cardwell 5 and 7 or something he's got. So I think the substitutions are a real luxury for Philippe Clement. But Cortez, for me, was the outstanding player in the first half.
I think what again, go back onto the spaces. Ayr cannot let Cantwell get any space in between the back of the midfield and the defence. Yeah. We know that when he gets in that spot of space and he gets on the half turn, we've seen in the Hibs goal that he scores, he can shoot, he can score, but he can also have that pass as well that can unlock the defence. So super important, a super important period for Ayr, this next 10-15 minutes that they get through it.
Yeah, it's 5 goals in 8 for Todd Cantwell, Neil, including that winner against Aberdeen here in the week, and that could be such a massive goal for them. There's going to be a double change coming up for Ayr United, which Martin will bring us news of in a moment. Game on here though. Rangers with a 1-0 lead, 62 on the clock, and it's picked up in the midfield here by Wright. It's left to centre, inside of the boot, flicks it to Rascan to his right. He finds Tavernier level with the edge of the D of the Ayr box, taking on Murphy. A little short ball to Cantwell. Now Rascan and Tavernier back towards Rascan. Murphy's there and he clears it out off Rascan for an Ayr throw. Martin Dowden can tell us what Scott Brown's up to.
Yeah, he's making a double change down there at the touchline. It will be Nick McAllister coming off for Scott Tomlinson, and Fraser Bryden will also make his way onto the pitch, and that will be for Logan Chalmers, who we've talked a lot about. A few fresh legs, but I'm sure Scott Brown pleased with what he's seeing in the main right now.
Academy graduate there, Scott Tomlinson, Ryan, coming on. He's just 18. This is his 10th appearance this season. He stepped up to the first team this campaign.
Yeah, some experience for him. I think that's what we want to see. Same with Fraser coming on as well, coming through the ranks. And it's great for the club, the fact that these boys are getting the chance to play first team football.
Yeah, Fraser Bryden, another to come on there. As Ayr try and find their way back on level terms. 2 Ayr Academy graduates onto the pitch here at Ibrox. Big night for the club. Here come Rangers down the left with Matondo, lightning pace, into the box he goes, drives it across, and it breaks Bobby Mutch's way. He'll be happy with that again. Rangers 1 Ayr 0. It stays, and they're just trying to navigate their way through choppy waters again here, Ayr. And if they can emerge through this spell still in the tie, then you never know what could happen in the final quarter of it.
Yeah, welcome to the game. Young Scott Tomlinson there out in the right back area. Rabbi Matondo he's got pace to burn, and sometimes he doesn't always show it, but he was prepared to give the young man there a little introduction to Ibrox.
Throwing Reading to the edge of the Rangers penalty area. It's going to break back out here to the left hand side from Dowds, picked up by Reading, back down the line for Murphy. Right foot hit the ball to the edge of the penalty area. It's headed away by Suter. It's only as far as Dempsey trying to burrow his way through. Unfortunately for him though, Goldson closes the door and it's slipped forward there to Cantwell, looking to get Matondo away. Brilliantly defended. Outstanding defending from Tomlinson, and he is able to clear. He's just on, but any slip up there, Matondo is in on the goalkeeper. I don't think there's any doubt about that. The pace that Matondo has, as Silva picks it up down by the corner flag over on the left hand side. It's attempt to chip into the box is cut out, and Ayr United get it clear up towards halfway, but it's flicked on by Dowds, but it breaks to Goldson. He goes back to his goalkeeper. 65 played. Rangers 1, Ayr United 0. And another example, the fans sticking with the Rangers team here. Yes, they're leading, but a few months ago, even at 1-0 up, against championship opposition, they would have been given it.
Yeah. And I think that's what you can see. That again, that's down to the manager and how he's galvanised.
There's a chance, cross ball from the left towards Silva is cut out, and the ball's prevented from going out for the corner over on that far side by Stanger. Out for a Rangers throw, and I think Clement has clearly earned the respect of the Rangers support. and he's got a trophy to back it all up as well. But just that one defeat, the only other game he hasn't won domestically was at Pittodrie against Aberdeen, as Raskin out to the left-hand side, a long deep ball but sails behind for the goal kick.
And you've no idea the difference it makes as a player when you know just the crowd's with you, no matter what the circumstances are, because ultimately they're still winning. But you know the crowd's right behind you trying to push you on. It makes such a difference. But you've seen there 2 quick fire passes from Todd Cantwell, just nearly opening up here. To be fair, if I was Scott, I'd probably just sit someone on him and just try and totally nullify him.
It was some tie here at this stage last season. It was championship opposition in Ibrox as well. Partick Thistle finished 3-2. The Jags led 1-0 at the interval. You might remember it was Malik Tillman who scored a goal that was deemed unsporting by even the Rangers manager Michael Beale, and Partick Thistle were allowed to score an uncontested goal to up the other end. Finished 3-2 to Rangers. We were coming forward here down the right of the box. McGinty with a slight challenge on Silva, and behind it goes for the Rangers' latest corner.
McGinty not for the first time. Liam, Ryan's spoken about him already. I think he's been absolutely superb. It was his block a minute ago when the ball was fizzed across the face of Robbie Munch. He's been outstanding, and I don't want to jinx the big fella either, but he's had a really, really good game today.
He's one of the more experienced players in the Ayr squad. Is McGinty. Corner. Yilmaz takes short to Cantwell, level with the penalty spot, rolls it back to Yilmaz at the right angle of the box, bends a good ball in. It's a bit too close to Much, he gathers. Thought about the early delivery, then thought better of it. There's just under 23 of the 90 to play. Ayr still very much in this game. 1-0 down they are, as they come forward down the left, and Ben Dempsey charging down the left-hand side, looking for support, shifts it infield for Reading on the underlap, plays it off Coulson, who can head it out towards Tavernier. On this near side, Rangers dealing with it, and it's those two at the right side of the Rangers defence, know each other's game so well. Little header from McGinty into the midfield, given away though. And now Cantwell looking to thread it through to Silva, who goes down, he's felt the slightest touch from McGinty. Will he call him Books, the Ayr United captain, and gives Rangers the free kick?
I wasn't sure if it was just offside. I thought he was, at the end there, I thought he might have been, but I thought he was maybe just offside, but will he call him? Suggests that McGinty was tugging on Silva on the way through there.
It was one of those, wasn't it? He clearly had a hand on him, but how much force there was. I think as soon as the striker feels the contact, they're going down, and that's exactly what happened with Silva, and it's drawn this free kick chance for Rangers. It's midway inside the Ayr half, about 10 yards from this near side touchline. Tavernier and Yilmaz are over it. Rangers skipper having a word with Yilmaz, suggests he's going to take it, and it is Tavernier to take into the box. Silva with a header wide, doesn't really get any real contact on it, and it goes past the left-hand post, well past. 21 to play at the 90. Rangers 1, Ayr 0.
Great ball, he should score. He's had a few of those tonight, those little glancing headers. He makes a good run, great delivery from Tavernier, and he just doesn't get anything on it. He tries to glance it towards the far post and doesn't get enough touches on the header.
Rangers are going to be making another change shortly, and Tavernier bowls it in field to Cantwell. Dempsey with the challenge back. Cantwell on this near side, and he is bundled to the ground by Anton Dowds, and that will be a free kick to Rangers on this near side, the Rangers right, and they're going to make the change, Martin.
It will be John Lundstrom coming onto the pitch, and he will replace Ryan Jack. I wondered if it would be Nico Raskin after what Neil was talking about earlier, but it is Ryan Jack who will make way for John Lundstrom.
It's always warmly received by the Rangers supporters, John Lundstrom. Neil, after that famous goal against Leipzig here that took Rangers into that European final.
Yeah, and his first instruction to the team is, come on, we need more.
There's Wright on this near side, works the 1-2 with Cantwell, the give and go out to the right hand side. Wright gets the cross ball in, header from Silva is well passed. Not sure if he was trying to tee up Matondo to the left of the 6-yard box. It's gone behind anyway for the goal kick, and it stays Rangers 1, Ayr United 0 in today's final 5th round tie. 2 to come tomorrow along the road from here in Paisley. 2 o'clock kickoff, St Mirren against the holders Celtic, and then in Lanarkshire Airdrieonians against Heart of Midlothian. That's a 5 o'clock kickoff. Both matches live on Sportsound here on BBC Radio Scotland. You'll also get that game in Airdrie live on BBC One Scotland on the telly. And before that game kicks off, and in between the two ties, will be the Scottish Cup quarter-final draw. So that's taking place before that Airdrieonians Hearts game tomorrow late afternoon. It's Rangers in possession on the far side. It is they, as things stand, that will be going through from this tie. And here's Matondo, left-hand side of the box. Little jersey pull there. Matondo stays on his feet. Back to Yilmaz, he crosses in. It's a really good flick header away there on the 6-yard line by Paddy Redding. Flags up anyway on this near side. Presumably that's given against Matondo. 71 on the clock. Rangers 1, Ayr 0. Morton, Hibs, Aberdeen, Kilmarnock and Livingston already assured of having their names in the hat for that draw tomorrow. Ayr still in this at the moment. Rangers threatening fleetingly.
But Jamie Murphy's been outstanding in the second half there as well, but I think it's now going to get to the stage where they're going to have to stick or twist. I think the last 20 minutes, last 15 minutes, they're going to have to try and carve out a couple of opportunities, get bodies forward. That might be a midfield runner maybe leaving his man to try and get into the box, and then you're always susceptible to getting caught on the counter, but at some stage they're going to have to give it the...
They're in the game though, aren't they? And Dowds has it right hand side of the box, and Yilmaz has given away a corner, and the Ayr fans over on that far side once again rise to acclaim their team, who are battling so hard here at Ibrox. Big underdogs coming into this cup tie, and they've got a corner which Jamie Murphy's going to take in front of the 2,000 Ayr fans.
Dempsey's spare round the back here.
He's just at the edge of the D, isn't he?
Yeah.
Nobody in blue near him. Then comes the corner. Butland's flailing a little bit there, and it goes behind off an Ayr player for a goal kick. The Rangers keeper gets away with it, though. He was coming into a big group of bodies there.
That's what we're talking about in the first half. I think that's what Ayr have to do anytime they've got a set piece now, is just get it right on top of the goalkeeper. You might get a deflection, it might hit off someone.
There's John Lundstrom in the centre circle, rolling it side foot out to Yilmaz on the left-hand side. He finds Ravi Matondo. Matondo over there taking on Tomlinson down the left, forced back the way to Yilmaz. Yilmaz then to Suter. Suter looks up, disguises the ball, forward to Cantwell, inside the penalty area, a little touch there to Raskan, back towards Wright. Wright just had it towed away from him at the last there by Sila, and it's cleared up to Dowds, who goes down, fouled by Suter, says Willie Collum, and that's a free kick to Ayr United, level with the edge of the centre circle inside their own half, over on that right-hand side.
Anton will sleep tonight. The amount of work that he's put in, the amount of graft that he's put in, I mean, it's a lonely shift up there sometimes when you're on your own.
He was a great outball in that first half as well. Ayr looking to react to the bitter disappointment of defeat last week. They led Dundee United in that match before losing out late on. It was a blow. Scott Brown won his first couple of matches in charge against Arbroath in Queen's Park. The Ayr free kick lofted into the Rangers half. It's headed away, kept alive by the Albanian Sila, knocking it out with the head to that right for Tomlinson. It's gone out of play for a Rangers throw-in, says the assistant on the far side. It's taken quickly by Lundstrom. He knocks it back into his own box for Goldson. We said it at the time, would Ayr United have a better opportunity than the one that was presented to Ben Dempsey early in the second half? So far, they haven't been able to come up with as good an opportunity or anything close to it. Still time for them. Just under 16 of the 90 to play. And it's going to be a throw into Ayr on this near side, which Paddy Redding's going to take.
The problem for Ayr is, you know, before the game, we've all been there, Neil, where the manager will sit in the changing room and say, listen, we might get 1 or 2 chances and you have to make sure you take them. And when he sees that back tonight, I mean, it wasn't just a half chance, it was a clear-cut, great opportunity to score.
Yeah, absolutely. Scott Brown is it's quite the sight watching him down there. I mean, all the mannerisms are the same as we got used to seeing him playing in.
Just with a lot more hair.
Yeah, with a lot more hair. Playing in the Celtic shirt, Hibs shirt, Aberdeen, Scotland. He's going through all the emotions. As Lundstrom picks up and turns it out to the left-hand side for Yilmaz, down the line for Matondo. It's the break of the ball initially, but it breaks the Stanger, and Ayr can clear, but I think that's gone over the line. It has. Tomlinson couldn't quite keep it in play, and Rangers have a throw-in over on the far side, infield to Cantwell. Now Lundstrom, who finds Tavernier in a central area. Forward to Cantwell, midway inside Ayr territory. He'll scoop it out to this right-hand side. Scott Wright on the ball now. Rolls it along the grass to Tavernier. Forward to Cantwell inside the box. Tavernier sits the defender down. It's a delicate chip ball, and in it goes, does it? No, blocked at the line, but the rebound does go in, and Fabio Silva races over to celebrate that goal. It's all come down the right-hand side. It's a wonderful, delicate chip ball to the back post. Looked like it was going in initially, and it broke back to Silva. He made no mistake, and Fabio Silva sends Rangers through to this season's Scottish Cup quarters. It is Rangers 2, Ayr United 0.
Yeah, he smashed that Silva into the top corner, but it's all about Todd Cantwell. Lovely little pass, and when he looks as if he's going to clip the first cross, McGinty, just as Ryan spoke about Ayr United earlier on, where he overcommits. Cantwell's cute enough just to take a further touch past him, stands it up over the goalkeeper. There was some sort of, I don't know, coming together on the goal line, but when it broke to Fabio Silva, he didn't mess about. He smashed it into the top corner of the net.
And that just takes away all the nerves that may well have arrived in the minds of the Rangers supporters going into the closing stages, and probably bursts the Ayr United balloon, you would have to say, Ryan.
Yeah, I would think so. As Neil just touched on there,
Check
I think
for a possible handball, right enough.
Or not.
Yeah, well, Ayr United were talking, there was a couple of the defenders were suggesting, or actually Robbie Much was saying there was a handball there, but it was too tight when we were looking. There was so many bodies in amongst the goal line. Martin might be able to see it.
Don't know if Martin's had a chance to have a look at a replay. He's seen it once. Martin, do you want to speak to us anyway?
Yeah, I think it's Rabbi Matondo on the line. The ball eventually comes out to Fabio Silva and he slams it home. Nothing wrong with that. I think the question is whether Matondo has handled it on that, and we're just seeing that coming in there. Silva going for the ball. Matondo comes in. His hand is up, but I think it's his head.
Yes, his left hand it looks like he's played it with, is it, Martin?
Checks over, no handball, goal stands anyway.
Yeah, okay.
But again, as Neil goes back to it, it's two different tales. Logan Chalmers had the exact same sort of opportunity. You just see the difference between himself as a young man coming through in the game, but you see the quality that Todd has, where he just bides his time, takes that extra touch, and then obviously delivers an amazing cross, and then the goal comes right off the back of that.
It was all about the cross from Cantwell. That was the difference there. He unlocked the door as Mark McKenzie is replaced by new Ayr signing Kurt Willoughby, who's joined from Oldham on loan till the end of the season. 26-year-old, and Ayr have a free kick here, which Murphy will take back to Sila inside the centre circle and out to that right-hand side. There's been plenty in the match for Scott Brown to hang his hat on for the rest of the season. I mean, you forget about the top three, but the fourth spot is still gettable. I know that the bad playoff spot is still a possibility, but you've got to be looking up though, don't you?
They need to just stay in the league. I think, listen, it's easy coming here.
Willoughby's having a go from distance.
Yeah, it's easy coming here.
For
it's good to put on a good performance, which they have. But what counts is against Arbroath, against Queen's Park, these games on a Saturday at 3 o'clock, that's the bread and butter for United, and that's really what matters. On the Rangers side, Silva getting a goal keeps that going as well. I think the difference when you look at the spine of the team, I think obviously when you've got Goldson and Soot at the back, I think bringing Lundstrom on, as Neil said as well, straight when he comes on, he's demanding more, he's asking more. Cantwell comes on, he can obviously open up defences, we've seen it, he does it week in, week out.
He's right for Rangers, up into the Ayr box he goes, hits it with the outside of the right boot, and it goes past harmlessly the left hand post for a goal kick to Ayr.
I think in the run in it for Rangers it's massive that they two, Lundstrom and Cantwell, stay fit, they stay healthy. Two massive players for Rangers.
Yeah, Ayr's next few matches in the league, Airdrieonians away next Saturday, then they're at home, back-to-back home games against Wraith and Partick Thistle.
Yeah, Airdrie, I mean, Hearts have obviously are going there tomorrow as well. It's the Astro pitch, it's a hard place to go.
They're much stronger at home, Airdrie, than they are away.
Yeah, they are. So listen, it's the bread and butter, as I said at the start of the show. It's all great having all that stuff off the pitch, and it's where we want to be as a club, but what we don't want to be is have a brand new stand and be in League One.
Yeah, the construction of that's coming along very nicely at Somerset just now. Cantwell finds Tavernier, knocks the ball forward, comes right through to Butler, but in the final 10 here with Rangers leading 2-0. Yeah, I mean, it was a real leap of faith. I know it was the previous chairman, Lachlan Cameron, who kind of made the decision to be a full-time club when they dropped down to the third tier under Ian McCall, but it's all there, isn't it? If they can get it right, it is all there for them.
Listen, you can see with the fans today, 2,000 coming through. You can see with the performance on the pitch that there's ability there. They're a decent team. You can imagine them playing in the Championship. They should be very, very competitive in the Championship. So yeah, it's all there for them to be a successful club.
Lundstrom finds Yilmaz, gets the cross in, chested behind by Reading for a Rangers corner. They are easing their way through now, Neil McCann, to the quarter-finals, and clearly they are the one club that can still win a treble this season.
Yeah, incredible.
A domestic treble, of course, still in Europe as well.
Still in Europe as well, a quadruple, aye. But I think the takeaway from this is progression. It's all about progression here. Cup football, it might not have been the best performance today. I think Ayr United have worked really hard, but they were looking to try and get the third goal, which will totally take the air right out of Ayr. Sorry, that point wasn't intended, but I was too far into it.
You ruined it with the second use.
I know, I was too far, I was too deep. But the point I'm making is that Philippe come on is again rotated the squad to give people game time. Talk about Raskin, not at a particularly good 45 minutes, but he looks like he's going to see out the 90. Ayr United, Martin will go to the change before I get back in.
Yeah, it will be another change. It will be Max Guthrie coming on, and the very experienced Jamie Murphy getting a little round of applause.
Yeah, there's another who's going to sleep well tonight, Jamie Murphy, and Ryan, yet another Ayr United Academy graduate, gets some time at Ibrox.
Yeah, again, as I said, it's great for the club in general, and it's great for the supporters that they see these young homegrown talents coming on and getting a chance to play. That's what Ayr has to be. I think obviously I speak to people within the club, and you look at Hamilton when McCarthy and that were coming through, and that's what Ayr have to try and replicate. They have to. Alan Forrest is now playing at Hearts and doing really, really well. Obviously with Lawrence for a brief spell. There's boys that have Danny Rose, who went down to England and is doing really, really well. So that's what Ayr need to do. They need to keep trying to produce, they need to keep trying to grow, and ultimately we need to try and get into the top league of Scottish football.
It's pretty shocking when you mention McCarthy. James McCarthy, of course, is retired now, which is
makes us all feel old.
It does, it really does.
I think how Neil feels.
Thanks for that, Ryan. Thanks.
There's Anton Dowds for Ayr on that right-hand side. The cross comes in, is cleared by Suter. Header forward from Dempsey is picked up here by Willoughby, looking to try and work something on the turn, but he can only knock it out for a throw into Rangers on this near side. And yes, it will be a night to relive the opportunity for Ben Dempsey early in the second half when it dropped to him from the Murphy corner. He was in acres of space, chance to hit it on the volley first time, and he screwed it wide of the left-hand post as Suter dinks it forward onto the chest of Silva, but he chests it out of play for a throw in on the far side, almost on 84. Rangers 2, Ayr 0, and Rangers will make what will be their last change. Martin.
It will be Nico Raskin making way eventually here, and onto the pitch will come Leon King, who hasn't had many minutes at all this season, so an opportunity for him to show what he can do in the last few minutes.
Yeah, there was talk about him potentially going out on loan in January. Leon King, he'll come in and can play in the midfield, and Raskin will come off. Yeah, I mean, for Rangers it's all about getting through. The Aberdeen game, I saw a lot of that earlier on. 2-0 win over Bonnyrigg. Second half was just a complete non-event for them, but they're through. It doesn't matter. Kilmarnock perhaps not setting the heather on fire. 2-0 win over Cove Rangers at home, through. Doesn't matter. Hibs played well, controlled the game, beat Inverness 3-1. They're also through. Livingston 3-2, left it late after extra time. They go through too as Yilmaz comes forward, left-hand side of the box, crosses in, across the face of goal, and out on the reverse side for an Ayr throw. And of course those four teams from the 3 o'clock kickoffs, and Rangers will soon join Morton as well after their 2-1 win over Motherwell at Capello last night.
Just a wee flash of Yilmaz there, Liam. I think that's it. That's the difference between him and Barisic. I mean, Yilmaz he's got better pace. He goes forward really, really quickly, but when he gets into the final third, think that we all recognise how good Barisic's final ball is. That's something that Yilmaz has to improve on, because he's got better tools in terms of how quick he can join in the attack than Barisic, but Barisic's deliveries generally are absolutely on the money.
Matondo driving down the left-hand side. He scored Rangers first against Aberdeen here on Tuesday. Matondo, it was a bit of a gift for him. It's Lundstrom, little back heel. Cantwell's good build up by Rangers. Cantwell gets it to right, back to Cantwell. Under pressure from Dempsey. He rolls it out right hand side of the box. Tavernier onto the left foot, swings the ball in. Much comes, he gets a touch onto it and it goes behind for a Rangers corner. And draws some clapping there from the Rangers boss, Philippe Clement, who I noticed in the local Ayrshire press made a pilgrimage to Ayr.
The Tam O'Shanter,
yeah,
was
he
it?
was down at the Tam O'Shanter having his lunch, apparently. And apparently he enjoyed it. It was very friendly. So there you go.
Was he down getting at Bielsa? Was he down watching a bit of training?
Seemingly.
That wasn't ruled out, put it that way. Tavernier with it, and it's clawed away by Robbie Much out to this near side.
Just get back onto what you're saying. A lot of fans, it's hard. See, for Rangers players, it's really hard these games. We've all been there ourselves. I don't know, Hearts against Auchinleck Talbot, and you win 2-1, and you just get through, and if you win 9-0, everybody expects it. If you get beat, it's an absolute catastrophe. It is a really, really difficult game. It's A United, for some of these players, it'll be the best night and the biggest night that they'll ever have in their career. For Rangers, it genuinely is just about getting through all the bigger clubs.
Yeah, ticks the box.
You're saying.
Ticks the box, doesn't it? Rangers corner. Yilmaz takes, left-footed into the area, it comes to Loud to bounce, breaks to right, who does shoot, and Much tries to get down, doesn't get all of the ball, and he's lucky as the scramble. It's actually come back towards him and behind for the corner, a little bit scrappy there. Dowds slices it behind, and Rangers at the corner. Robbie Much looked as though he'd lost sight of it for a moment there. Nobody in blue and white to turn it home. It's played short back to Tavernier, chip ball into the area, is headed away. We'll break back to the edge of the box here for Wright to Goldson. Goldson loses out though, and it's picked up on this near side by Tomlinson. He's done pretty well since coming on, to be fair. And it goes out off King for an Ayr United throw-in as we approach 88 minutes. Rangers getting through to the quarters. How do you view this next stage of the Scottish Cup? I know you want to avoid Rangers, and if Celtic get through, St Mirren will have a big say tomorrow. Would you rather draw them at home in the quarter-finals, or have to play them in the semis or finals? Stay away, just stay away no matter what. So you're going to have to beat them in Glasgow, otherwise, in all likelihood.
Listen, you want to try and get to Hampden. I think that is the be-all and end-all. Is I've been lucky enough to be involved in a cup final, and just the full build-up of it is absolutely magical. I've never been lucky enough to win one. Neil has, and I imagine it's even better. So if you're a player, which I've been not fortunate enough to play for any of the Old Firm, you want to stay away from. You'd rather get to the final, and you never know in a cup final day what might actually happen, but I would rather stay away from.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I always looked at it when you were playing and you were outside the Old Firm, that you just wanted to avoid them. You wanted them to draw each other, actually, and invariably you're going to have to beat one of them if you're to lift the trophy, but avoid them for as long as possible.
I was talking about that long list of Scottish Cup winners' medals Scott Brown hasn't. The man to our right here, Ryan, has one or two of them himself.
Yeah,
I've been lucky. Won 5, Liam, and I have to say I've won a couple of Old Firm finals as well, which were pretty special, but the one with Hearts was by far my favourite in '98.
Yeah.
The club had gone so long, and I've never seen anything like it. I probably never will experience the day of taking the cup back to Gorgie Road and then parading it down Edinburgh the next again day was something very, very special, and it's something unfortunately the Old Firm players don't get to enjoy.
I think they have tried to remedy that recently, haven't they? I think they do try and do it locally, as close to their respective stadiums as possible. As Ayr pick up the ball, the clock's just ticking down and the game is playing on, but there's nothing much happening right now. We're deep into the 90th minute with Rangers 2-0 up and cruising to the quarters as the cross comes in for Ayr. Butland, well, that was an awkward one for the keeper. Goldson gets there ahead of him and manages to clear as that dropped just in front of the Rangers number one. He was fortunate that it didn't drop to an Ayr man as Matondo comes up the other end, right hand side of the box. His shot is cut out there by Tomlinson. 5 minutes of stoppage time have been added, and it's going to be a Rangers corner. That goal came from an Ayr United opportunity up the other end.
Great ball in for Paddy Redding, so it was, but then it just shows you just how quickly Rangers can transition through the full middle of the park, and they go up and they nearly have a chance and get the corner from it.
Young Tomlinson did great there.
Yeah,
he
matched his running.
covered and he matched Rabbi Matondo all the way. He looks actually decent, the kid.
Fast, and that's a good thing. The good thing for Ayr is they've got some good experienced players. You look at, I'm going back to Logan Chalmers again, playing on one side, but you've got Jamie Murphy on the other, who...
Yeah, corners come in, just as Ryan was telling us, it's gone out for a goal kick anyway.
You've got Jamie Murphy on the other side, who does all the defensive work, who's played at the highest level, and for Logan, that's someone that you can look at and say, right, can I replicate that, the way he trains, playing at his age? He's played 80 odd minutes at Ibrox. I'm not being bad on Jamie at Jamie's age. I couldn't play 15 minutes and I'm only 39, so it's like for these younger players, for Thomason and that coming through as well, looking at the older boys, McGinty, it's great to see these boys.
There's right forward to Cantwell. Rangers look to find a third goal that would make the scoreline look a bit more impressive than the 2-0 that it sits at. The ref's not happy with Cantwell, and something that the Rangers sub has said, and blowing his whistle manically, will he call him. He's eventually managed to summon Todd Cantwell.
Yeah, what you don't want to do is pick up a stupid book in here for no reason. The game's dead, just walk away.
It's going to be a free kick for Ayr United here when all is said and done, as we tick our way through stoppage time. Robbie much over it, made that terrific save at the end of the first half to keep the honest men in the match. It's a long ball with the right foot out to the far side. It's one in the air by Suter. Breaks back into Ayr possession with Tomlinson over there, and he plays it off Matondo, and out for an Ayr United throw. And there's going to be plenty for Scott Brown to take from this match. It's how they translate that into the league and try and push up the
I tell you
league.
what, that fourth official cannot wait to go home, because Scott Brown has not left them all in the full second half.
It's Craig Napier down there who's suffering. Stephen Whittaker out there as well. It's on the face of it, and I know things didn't go their way at Fleetwood Town, but it's on the face of it, it's a pretty ambitious appointment by Ayr United, and perhaps is one that symbolises where the club want to go from where they are. They've been a top flight team since the late 70s, as Leon King slips it out on the right hand side for Scott Wright for Rangers, and Ayr United funneling back. Wright's cross comes in, he's aimed for Leon King, he's not going to find him, I don't think. It's going to go out to play for a throw-in over on the reverse side. We played 3 of the 5 minutes of stoppages. Rangers 2, Ayr United 0 here on Sportsound, BBC Radio Scotland. We're back with Rangers at Ibrox on Wednesday evening as they try to get to the top of the league. They require at least 3 goal margin of victory to do so. Their game in hand against Ross County here. We've also got Aberdeen Motherwell tomorrow, St Mirren, Celtic, Ayr Geonians Hearts in the last of the 5th round cup ties. Highlights tonight of all today's games on Sportscene, so you'll be able to tune in to that as well and catch all the action from the 3 o'clock kickoffs as well as this one. Sure, the highlights of the game at Capello from last night, famous night for Greenock Morton as they knocked the Steelmen out. Motherwell haven't won it since 91. That run will continue as Matondo flashes it all the way back to his goalkeeper. Butlin's outside his box, controls and passes it short to Suter, and now squared to Goldson. Not done here on Sportsound for today. We'll get the reaction from the 2 managers to what they've seen out there, and it's been a pretty enjoyable cup tie, I would have to say. Rangers easing through in the end, but Ayr United have played their part in it. As Tavernier comes down the right, Cantwell to his right, instead he plays it into the box for Silva. Got Rangers second, but his control lets him down and Ayr are able to clear, and then there's a foul on Willoughby midway inside his own half, and Ayr United have a free kick. We're into the final 25-30 seconds. Neil, it's been keenly contested, you would have to say.
Yeah, I think the Ayr United players, their endeavour today has been absolutely brilliant. They should be proud of themselves. Just the quality has shone through. They've had a couple of opportunities, Ayr United, but the quality Rangers have, the ability to change the the line-up on the pitch from the bench is a stark difference, Liam, and that's the reason why Rangers have cruised into the next round.
Yeah, Rangers through. Minimal fuss for Philippe Clement as he looks to make inroads in this competition, having already guided Rangers to League Cup success in December. And they have backed up their win over Dumbarton in the last round with a 2-0 success against Championship Ayr United. Borna Barisic getting them underway on 11 minutes. They came flying out of the traps, much like they did against Aberdeen here on Tuesday evening, as Barisic stroked the ball home into the left corner to get them off and running. They had other opportunities. Oscar Cortes was a constant menace down the left-hand side. He had chances himself. In fact, he hit one off the outside of the post in the opening couple of minutes. But to no avail, as Ayr United did their best to weather the storm. They did so. They had opportunities themselves. Now and again they managed to hit Rangers in the counter in that first half, but it was Ben Dempsey who spurned their best opportunity of the tie. A Jamie Murphy corner, dink back to the edge of the box. Dempsey was on his own as he watched the ball come out of the Glasgow sky, but he managed to smash the effort wide of the left-hand post. He got it on target. Ayr could have been looking at drawing level in this cup tie. Their dreams well and truly shattered by Fabio Silva, the Portuguese, on the rebound, tucking it home after a wonderful ball in by the substitute Cantwell. And that ensured that Rangers would progress, and they joined Morton, Hibs, Aberdeen, Kilmarnock and Livingston in tomorrow's quarter-final draw. 2 fifth-round ties still to play tomorrow as the Ayr United players get some acclaim from the 2,000 who have come up from the coast for this Scottish Cup tie, which was won by Philippe Clement's Rangers by 2-0.